Yo!
That's fantastic. Konnichiwa. Konbanwa. It's evening here. Konbanwa.
Ah, that's right. It's evening where you guys are.
It is. Yes.
Here in the
early morning.
Here in the land of the pouring rain, it's 1 in the afternoon.
So yes, so you would say konnichiwa, where konbanwa is good evening. And
good evening, yes.
Looking at the map of Japan on my
Whoa, look at it right there.
Where? Yeah, you're somewhere around
right there. Yeah, Shikoku,
right there. He's
right
in
there.
the little island. That one there, yeah.
I'm on
Shikoku.
the smallest of the main islands. There's 4 main islands, and I'm
right
on
there.
the smallest one.
Yeah, this is Honshu. Shikoku. And right up north of you on the other part is, if I'm not mistaken, some nuclear activity took place there.
That will be Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
Yeah.
It's not Hiroshima. They pronounce it Hiroshima.
Hiroshima, yes.
Hiroshima is not hot much anymore. There's a few radioactive spots in there, but it's not hot anymore.
Oh no, it's fine. Anyone that's worried about like fallout or radioactivity around there, no, nothing to worry about.
And these are the kanji, the symbols that mean Japan, right?
Yes, yes.
So, what are they? Fermented Cinema. If you
the first kanji there, that one top? There is sun.
Up top, yes.
Or sun or day, and then the bottom one is book. Actually,
it is book, yeah.
Yeah,
and so that book is pronounced hon,
and hon.
So hon, so nihon. Yeah,
right.
Hon, yes. Hon is book.
Roppongi.
All right. So, Tony, thanks for joining us. I know you're a Japanophile, and that's not dirty. That doesn't mean he does things to Japanese people. He's a fan of Japanese people.
It doesn't mean that every time he sees a bonsai tree, he gets a bonsai in his pants.
Correct.
No. Although I do. Hello, Kivan6. Welcome.
Hello.
Mm-hmm. Hello and welcome.
Now, as you can see, my shirt is not Japanese themed, but I did buy it in Japan, like all my clothes. Yes.
I too got this in Japan. And I also was given this as a gift from Ogura-chan, a friend of mine.
Nice.
It's like a puffy, and it's got like designs on it, and it's a house coat, and it's got pockets.
That's awesome.
It has pockets, and it's got the ties so you can tie it. Yeah,
that's definitely something you'd get like at a hotel, like in the mountains in Japan, like a nice house coat like that.
It's funny you should say that. We got it in the Hakama. Is it the Hakama bus where they have the onsen, the hot natural spring water, but they put wine in it. Giant vats of wine, and one is green tea. I think it's Hakuba. Hakuba. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I believe.
My goodness.
So you
can bathe and drink.
And it's not far. You can. And it's not far from Mount Fuji. You can see Mount Fuji on the bus there. So that's where I got it. And it was it was a hotel built around the hot springs, which is common.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic. But it's
that's exactly what I thought it was. Like, that's something you wear when you're going down to the hot spring hotel. Yeah.
Hello, PvP. We are on.
It was hot springs. But I gotta tell you, when you're a foreigner in Japan, especially in the countryside, like around Tokyo, Osaka, it's not too unusual, obviously, to see foreigners. But when you're in the countryside and you go in the hot spring and you're naked, every old man there and child is like, "Holy shit! This is our chance to see what a foreigner's junk looks like." So they're all staring at you. They're all staring at you. So what I always do is you got the face cloth, and I always make
modesty cloth.
I do the modesty. I never give them
really?
The show.
Oh,
I never give them the show. I always put I kind of tease them where I start to stand up.
Oh, you do?
Because
everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching. I mean, they're not obvious about it, but they're watching. You're the only white guy there.
Yes.
I'll tell you a story. I met.
And I hide my honor.
I was engaged to a Japanese woman we were together 12 years, and some of the photos I'm going to show tonight are from where we went to visit her dad in Wakayama in South, not far from where you are. It's a boat ride away, I believe.
Yeah, it's about like a 40-minute or maybe about an hour-long ferry ride.
That's okay. That's pretty close.
Yeah, it's pretty close. And actually, not to interrupt your story, but I've been to Wakayama too with my girlfriend, then wife now. We did a trip to Wakayama. We drove there. We did the long way around.
Nice.
So you go through Kagawa, where I am, and then you cross the bridge, the Akashi Bridge, into Kobe, and then you drive through Osaka, and you go all up around, and you come back around to Wakayama. A really cool drive because there's literally like Japanese infrastructure is insane. Like I clocked it for like a 55-kilometer stretch through Osaka. You don't even touch the ground. You're on viaducts for like 55 kilometers straight.
Holy.
It's insane. Yeah, it's insane. And then
in an earthquake-prone country.
Hey, but this stuff, it's all seismically sound infrastructure, of course, right? It's been tried and tested, that's for sure. And
that's right.
Yeah. And then on the way back, we had to get the ferry. And we were from the hotel we were staying at to the ferry. It was an hour and 25-minute drive. And we clocked it in, and the time on Google Maps said that we were an hour and 45 minutes away. And I said, don't worry. I'm going to shave 20 minutes off this drive. Don't worry. And I fucking booked it. And this is the first time doing this route. Didn't get lost. Not one wrong turn. And made it right to the ferry. The last person to get on the ferry. They sold us the last ticket. Made it with like 30 seconds to spare. And I was like, booyah. There we go.
Nice.
Nice. Canadian driving in there.
Hey, welcome to Irene Jobson.
Yes,
welcome,
hello, Irene.
Miss Symphonic Madman.
Miss Symphonic Madman, yes. He was on my show this last few days ago, leaving some good comments. We were talking about Death Wish 3.
Oh yes, the squint.
Dark Tyne, hello to you. Pleasant Valley Picker. Question: Buddha is happy.
Sounds pleasant.
With that erection, what guy wouldn't be? My question is, what deity would bang him to get that bad boy down? Tony, what do you think? Wonder Woman?
Well, you're gonna have to think a little bigger.
Methuselah.
Let's just bring it around and get a Roger Corman film out here. Let's get the 50-foot cheerleader involved. Awesome, we'll be happy.
Oh.
Yes, right. Yes. So basic. So to finish my story, when I went over to meet her dad in Wakayama. He doesn't speak any English. And my Japanese, I had lived in Japan for a year before I met her, and so my Japanese was embarrassingly poor, but we could communicate. So unbeknownst to me, we arrive at her house to stay for a couple of months with her dad. And she says, "Oh, you just met her dad." He says, "Oh, yeah, nice, very nice to meet you." And you guys are going to go somewhere. So I said, "Oh, okay, just me and him." "Yeah, you guys are going." Didn't know. Yeah, it was a bathhouse. It was within an hour of meeting my potential future father-in-law. I'm sitting naked in a hot tub surrounded by Japanese men with him. And yeah, fuck it. Yeah, with a very bad ability to communicate. Like, fortunately, he likes mechanics and mechanical things, and I can talk about a lot of the terminology is similar. So they use a lot of English words for mechanical things. But anyway, yeah, it was hilarious. Embarrassing.
Lots of borrowed words, but it's hilarious though how like the colonization of words can make them so different. Like automatica. Oh, you mean automatic? I got it. Like, I see. And then and in Japan, it's like especially the countryside, they're not used to talking to like non-native Japanese speakers. No. So like how we live in Canada or America, you're used to speaking with non-native English speakers a lot.
That's right.
So you can bridge the gap and double guess what they're trying to say. So you can do that, right? But in Japan, if you don't say it like perfectly, they're like, what?
They don't understand.
And it was so annoying because we're at KF frickin' C, and they have chicken crispy on the menu, and my friend, he was new to Japan. He's like, "Can I get the chicken crispy onegaishimasu?" And like, "Oh, seems like chicken crispy onegaishimasu." And then I was like, "Oh, chicken crispy. Oh, chicken crispy." It's like, yes, chicken crispy.
Yeah.
Can you not bridge that?
No. I was in a KFC once, or was it McDonald's, something like that in Japan. And I wanted mayonnaise. And I even said in Japanese, it's a white sauce. It's shiro sasu, mayonnaise. And I tried to, but I wasn't nailing it. I wasn't getting it close enough. I had no idea. For my French fries, it's not a thing over there.
Okay. A story just hit my head.
I don't know.
Talking about Japan today, it's rainy. It's really rainy.
Yeah, and the economy is not great.
The economy's not so great.
Yeah,
but Japan's weird though. It's like you, on a personal level, you never feel the economy here. If it's doing good or bad, doesn't seem to make any difference in like daily life here. It's like whatever. It's just it's so insular in that way, where it's like on the world scale it could be doing bad, but you wouldn't know from living here, right?
Everyone
still has a job. Yeah. Anyway, we were talking about fast food restaurants in Japan, and there's this one in Osaka, Burger King we went to. And to get to this Burger King, there is it's like walking up to like one of those shrines where it's like 30 stairs, and there's steep stairs with a super steep grade, right? And that's how you got to get to the front entrance of this like Burger King. And so it feels like you do like a pilgrimage to Burger King.
If you want fatty hamburger, you need to exercise to get in.
Yes, you need to drop the weight to gain the weight. And then you go up. And the best thing is we go into the Burger King, and then what's inside? There's like a brand new like handicap bathroom. I'm like, okay, how's the handicap getting up here? I don't get it.
Yeah, unlikely. Unlikely.
Like, no. I'm sorry. Like, if they got up the stairs, they sure as hell ain't getting down them. That's all I can say.
No. That's ridiculous. Right. Japan is full of some funny things, and let's actually, I've got a couple of photos, and we'll start those in just a minute, that are pretty non-typical of Japanese people. Like, I've got a couple of photos that show Japanese people breaking the rules, which is unusual. Yeah, I know, you don't see that often, do you?
Are they all from Osaka?
Yeah. Yes, from that area. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Tony, I'd like to hear from you. What interests you about Japan? How long have you been interested in it?
And what are you going to do about it? It's just other cultures in general. Japan sticks out simply because it is a very successful civilization that has built its wealth through trade, has become an economic hub of trade. It is only having economical issues simply because the rest of the world is having economical issues.
Well,
so, there's just something about the discipline, the homogeny, the combination of modern and traditional. We covered a lot of that whenever we did our show together, just us. It's just they are a very successful civilization.
Yeah, Japan's, how they've been able to marry the old with the new is like unprecedented around the world. Because you have like places like the West where it's like everything's new, but it's like, oh, anything like old or religious is seen as like bad. But in Japan, it's like they can be scientific and modern, but at the same time, it's like going to the temple is still like something everybody does. Like, actually, my son today at his daycare today, they're actually going to the temple, and it's so cute to think about it because they're going to meditate for 10 minutes. And I'm just picturing all of these 5-year-old kids trying to meditate would be just the funniest thing to see, right? And it's just so cute though, because it's so cool and cultural, where it's like they're going to go to the temple, learn to meditate. It's not saying you have to be Buddhist and you have to join the temple, nothing like that, right? It's
no.
It's just like, no, this is just part of the cultural heritage. You're culturally Shinto, culturally Buddhist, right? And it's like, but then that doesn't infect your scientific view on things, right? Like, it doesn't like science class or anything like that. It's like, which is wonderful, where it's great, right? And it's just so neat to see a culture that can marry those two and quite successfully, right? And yeah, where it's not like a war between the two. It's not like, oh, you either this or that, and you believe this or like this. That means you have to disown that. There's none of that, right? Which is great.
That's amazing. That's fantastic. That's the way it should be, really.
Yeah, and it's just nice, and it's just so cool. And yeah, Tony, you gotta get to Japan. Of course, you guys come to Japan. You guys come to Japan. You know who you're gonna see, right? I'll give you a hint. This guy right here.
Yes. And we're all going to go out to a karaoke bar and get happy and red-nosed and stumble home.
Fantastic.
Oh, damn straight. You got to get introduced to Nomi Hodai. All you can drink. $15 for 2 hours. All you can drink. Beers, spirits, cocktails, everything. It's wonderful.
And then the tabe hodai, which is all you can eat, too.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes you can get the combination of both, but that's hard. I mean, what do you...
I'm doing that this Saturday night. I'm going to all you can eat yakiniku and with all you can drink. I emceed my friend's wedding. This was actually, here's freaking story time challenge. This was probably one of the biggest challenges of my life. Is I was asked to MC my friend's wedding. He's Japanese. They're both my friends, and his wife is it's actually Floridian from Florida. Okay. And her family came over, and my job was to translate everything back and forth between English and Japanese to English. So, and also like to be entertainment. You know, I was being goofy and fun, telling jokes and stuff.
Foreigners are expected to do that in Japan.
Yes. Yeah. But for me, it was interesting for like trying to like, people would tell these like emotional stories about them, and then I have to translate that. And sometimes I don't have the word, but I was so stressed about this word. Like, oh, my Japanese is decent. Like I can definitely live in Japan and do daily conversation and stuff. But when you start getting into more high level words, like anything technical or like really emotional stuff, there might be some things I don't know there, but I was able to navigate around them. You know, when you like explain around a word, you're like, I don't know this word, but I know how to explain this word, right? I know, so I'm just going to kind of
that's what you have to do. But that counts as communication. That, you know, when I was grading, you know, I was we had to estimate what level our students were at and how they're progressing. And we often took that into account, even if they couldn't get the word in English correctly, if they could still communicate and describe their way around it and get to the same idea, you know, we gave them credit for that. So, and this is you recognize behind me, the pink rabbit, Usagi is that
Sanmanen? Oh, wow. Sanmanen Presento. Oh, wow. Yeah, Nova
okay. There's Nova. So that was the biggest English school.
$300
education mascot right there. English mascot.
Yeah.
Yep. The Nova Usagi, Usagi meaning rabbit. I hated that son of a bitch. She was everywhere. So, yeah.
That
I can read a little bit of that. That's 3,000 N. So the
30,000.
30,000. Oh, man N, right. So man is 10,000, right. So 3 times 10. So yeah, the middle character beside the 3, that is man. That means 10,000.
Yeah.
And then the symbol beside that is the Japanese symbol for N, or we say yen, but they pronounce it N. And my pronunciation is horrible compared to yours, Fermented Cinema. So please bear with me.
僕はもう日本に引っ越してきてから11年になりました。So it's already been 11 years now since I've moved to Japan, and I can't believe that. Yeah.
Mayo on fries, hell yeah, PvP.
Oh God, yes.
It's good. If you ever been to Holland, there's actually. Did you go to the mayo stand where it's like the mascot is literally a guy jacking off on fries? And it's all the mayo.
No.
Yeah.
I missed that
awesome.
one. I missed that one.
Yes.
That's awesome. No, I did not, but I did go to, and I discovered mayonnaise on French fries in Amsterdam. Actually, that's
it's huge.
I first fell in love with it. Absolutely, mayo is the sauce of the gods. Suzanne Eckstein, that is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's success and culture are the things our society should be upholding. I would agree with that pirate dark tiny.
Correct. Good
I'll say
assessment.
it's also nice, like in Japan, is like you can know someone your whole life here without ever knowing their politics. And
Oh yeah,
Right.
or their interpersonal
it's so
thoughts,
nice.
because they
Yeah,
you should pirate.
yeah,
Yeah, you can be best
Yes.
friends with someone,
do it.
and they won't tell you their inner thoughts in Japan. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's quite
it's the way
refreshing
they
that way.
are.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much are tickets right now? Over
They are expensive. Summer
Yeah.
season is expensive because like
Yeah.
everyone in Japan travels at the same time.
Yes.
Essentially, and
I love
summertime,
sci-fi.
like you can go between Canada and Japan, like Vancouver, because that's the cheapest. Vancouver, of
Yep.
course, is direct.
Probably 1,000.
Yeah, about $1,000 during the off season, right? And
Yeah.
that'll be like during like maybe in like February, October, November, like those type of seasons.
Fall.
And actually,
Man, I have
fall's the
photos.
best time to come.
Gorgeous. I
Yeah,
would agree, because it's
take
still
time off
warm.
work and come in the fall. It's still warm, but it's not unbearably hot. And the fall foliage is gorgeous. Definitely come. I would recommend October, November. Cheap tickets. Beautiful weather. The only caveat is you got to take time off work. Right?
Oh, and what about the festival in Kyoto, where they light the hillsides on fire?
Yes,
giant symbols, bonfires that are spaced out to be characters or pictures, pictograms.
Yeah.
And you can be in the middle of the town in Kyoto, looking up at the mountains, the ring of mountains around, and they're all on the symbols are on fire. It's a fantastic celebration.
Oh, it's badass.
I'm not sure if you got a chance to join these, but the best one, they call them chosas. Where I am in Japan, I forget what they're called, like or I forget the name elsewhere in Japan, but for some reason in Shikoku they're called chosas, and it's like where everybody, you got to hold them on your shoulder. It's like
you're
you
talking
got
about
the god that sits on it.
Yeah,
and you're all carrying it, and it's like 20 to 40 men carrying it, right? And you got to you got to shora, and it's so much fun. And that happens in October, and you can join these if you're lucky enough. And the whole neighborhood, because you walk around the neighborhood with it and essentially cause a traffic jam. It's great. And
that's fun.
And everyone gives you free alcohol everywhere. They just come out and give you beer and sake, and you're just getting loaded.
Incredible.
Like, what a great culture. I'm sorry.
In
what
public.
a great culture.
In public. And the police, there's no riots.
Yeah. No riots.
The police don't get involved.
Yeah.
There are drunken people puking and stumbling. That sometimes happens, but they're not. They're not
going out and like damaging property or something stupid like that, right?
That's exactly right. They're just embarrassing themselves.
Exactly.
Sci-Fi Sit then wants to know: is Tony playing the strong silent type since he's trying to preserve his throat and voice?
No, I'm just. This is a different kind of show. This is a show where we all try to make sure that we converse and not overtalk each other. So,
do you mind reading this from our friend?
Oh,
which
one? I'll take it. Oh, Tony. All right.
Yeah, Tony. If you wouldn't mind reading, so we can hear a little bit of your voice as Sci-Fi.
My bucket list for Japan is to spend a month there traveling with the various festivals, going to Kyoto for the Yokai Festival, do a temple tour, study the oldest architecture, and eat.
The food. Everyone
the fall.
says the food is a highlight of Japan, and I would agree.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dancing squid is so good.
Hello.
Sashimi so good.
Oh, dude. Raw fish, absolutely. Now, you mentioned the food already, Fermented Cinema. You said tori, yakitori.
Oh, well, I love the yakitori, but my favorite is the kushikatsu. And kushikatsu is what you get in Osaka, which is like deep fried skewers of pretty much everything. And you dip it in this beautiful, thick, kind of really rich barbecue-like sauce. And it's just absolutely delicious. If you haven't had it, you have to have it. I guess that avoids hearing a lot of complaining.
So yakitori is also on. Tori means chicken. And so it's skewers of chicken, and they're roasted over Usually charcoal.
And yaki is like the verb yaku. So yaki, which in English has many different words. It means to like broil, to barbecue, to cook. It would be like yaki. So any meat that's like kind of done on an open flame is yaki. Yeah.
I would go to Sapporo just for the red light district.
Oh, okay. Red light district.
I didn't know about the red light district in Sapporo. What's that?
Red light districts are interesting. I'm not sure how much I should talk about the red light districts here. If you don't speak Japanese, it's almost impossible to navigate unless you have someone that's touring you around. Because they're not going to bend over backwards, pun intended, for anything that's not Japanese. Also because each establishment is very different, because you have in the red light districts, you have regular bars and restaurants, which just go in and eat. You got what are called like kind of like sports bars, which is like where there's topless girls around, but it's just topless girls. It's kind of like a Hooters.
Are they knife fighting?
They were not knife fighting. No, they were not knife fighting. So you got those ones, and you got
35,
snack bars, and snack bars are where you pay like a nomi hodai charge, and you sing karaoke. And these are usually owned by Philippine girls and whatnot. And they just come around, you talk with them. It's generally not sexual, although some do.
Hey, Sean.
Some are front. Some are front. Some are not. You got to be careful. Some are front for prostitution. Some aren't. If you're in one that isn't, and you start treating it that way, you're going to get kicked out. Right. So.
They are very strict about.
Yeah, there's a lot of reading between the lines. Yeah,
I tried to go into a place, and it wasn't a sexual thing. It was a. It wasn't a sexual bar, but it was. I suppose some of the girls might be topless in that, and they were meant to cater to strictly Japanese people. And I had a fellow with me who was half Japanese, and they wouldn't let him or I in at all. And it wasn't even like that kind of a place. It wasn't mafia run or anything like that, as far as we could tell. But it's just no one like you in here. You're not Japanese.
No, you're not going to see those, white suit wearing yakuzas with kusarigamas and pencil thin eyebrows anymore. That don't happen.
No, it's pretty. It's a lot more. It's kind of like Las Vegas, essentially, where in the past it was all mob and yakuza run, and now it's all corporate, essentially, right? Like,
a different kind of mob.
Delicious.
A different kind of mob, yeah. And then the mob more works behind the corporations, just like in North America now, right?
Exactly. Fermented, do you mind reading and commenting and explaining to the people that don't speak Japanese what Kivan 6 is talking about?
What did you say here? Char smoked unagi grilled to perfection. My dream meal. Ooh. So unagi is essentially eel, and it is delicious. I agree with you, Kivan 6. Yes.
Saltwater eel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it freshwater? I don't know.
You can get both.
Okay.
You can get both. There are freshwater eels here too.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And hello, Taylor Swift. Greater than Disney's. That's a long name. It just gets longer all the time.
It's Matt G.
I never met a Filipino who did not like karaoke that I can think of.
I've never met a Filipino who can't sing. Like, seriously, every Filipino person I've met and friends with, it's just gorgeous voice. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's it's interesting, the red light districts. Then there are the actual places, if you're going to go for a sexual thing, is the bathhouses, and those are called the soap lands. Because some people make the mistake and they go to hostess clubs and they think that's a sexual thing, where actually hostess clubs are not.
No.
It's,
No, there is a sexual appeal.
Oh, no, it's appeal to it because they're all gorgeous girls and they're wearing like essentially like prom dresses and stuff. But you are not having sex with them.
No.
Yeah.
Something that could be said about the Japanese too, about just sexuality in general. Regardless of what you're into over there, they don't shame you for it. They usually will usually make sure that it's catered to.
I heard
the funky dunky stuff.
I've heard rumors of stuff that I won't describe. Well, you know, I don't want to make your stomach turn, but yeah, there's some fun
Like
stuff
pedals,
there.
studded
It's-
shoes.
It
again-
seems that the more you restrict a culture, it comes out, like, because you can't even show pubic hair in Japan on pornography. So
It's hilarious because they
Right?
got blurred out, and anything that's being penetrated has to be blurred out. Besides,
right.
So the butthole is clear as a bell if it's not
That's
being
fine.
penetrated, but once it's being penetrated, it's blurred. It's so funny.
and it's the
Yeah.
weirdest stuff, man. It's
Yeah.
weird. But
It's
let's take a look at some of the photos. Speaking of,
all right. Yeah. Well, let's do. I got some photos here. Let's
okay,
start here.
great.
So
sure.
just for
What do you
fun,
want to start with?
let's just start with that one. Why not?
Okay.
yeah.
Sure.
I'll go. Well, let's go
All
through and
right.
explain what they are.
We're doing
so this-
urban. We're doing urban photos first. Gotcha.
Well, this one is just for fun. I thought I'd show it. This is the view from my apartment. So this is. I would turn my head this way. That's what I can see right now.
Oh, that's
but
gorgeous.
if it's not pissing out rain, that there's the Setohashi, the Seto Sea Bridge, and that bridge is 12 kilometers long, which is like 8 miles.
Wow.
And
That's
it spans the
Titanic.
strait. Yeah, it's huge, and it's a rail bridge and a highway bridge. Upper deck's highway, lower deck is rail. And it's really cool. Yeah, to drive across, to take the train across, it's beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Fantastic.
there's the sport Dome Utazu. Yay. It's just a
Is
couple
that
blocks
an
away.
arena or?
It's just like Japan has a lot of like kind of like sports entertainment complexes with like the basketball hoops. You shoot for points. It's got like a rink, like a roller rink, all that
Nice.
type of stuff. Yeah, it's pretty fun
Yeah.
stuff.
Very
Like that. Yeah, you
That's
can go and
pretty
get
cool.
and like everywhere in Japan, you can buy beer there. I love it. You can buy beer anywhere. It's just like sports
yeah.
don't want a beer.
Or-
Get a beer.
Or just not only, but whiskey or bourbon or vodka, a lot, wine.
Oh yeah.
Wine vending machine. The first wine vending machine I saw wasn't in Europe. Surprisingly, it wasn't in France. It was in Japan.
Oh, and the other day, you want to talk about Japanese vending machines? Should have sent a picture of this too, but I couldn't believe it. I was in the super countryside, and it was at kind of like a neat farmer's market, and there's this vending machine. I'm like, what the hell? Am I reading this kanji right? It's a deer meat vending machine.
Deer meat.
A
Venison.
venison vendor. A venison.
A venison
Wow.
vendor. Yes.
That's incredible.
Whoa.
It's like, what the hell? I'm like, all right, now I've seen everything. Like,
That's incredible. So Pirate Dark Thai Nave. Yeah, Japanese apartments are small. The hotels are small.
Yeah.
Capsule hotels. Tony, do you have any familiarity with what a capsule hotel is?
They're literally a capsule. It's like
Yep.
a itty bitty living space. It's like a 4x4 with like the bathroom, the bed, the kitchen. It's no walls. It's just it's so ergonomic and efficient for a person. It's nuts.
I lived in an apartment with an American, Japanese American friend of mine. Shout out to Taro, and the two of us were teaching English for Nova, the company behind me here, and we managed to. So the first thing we did when we got there, because the company sets you up with a place to live, and I don't like having my accommodation be controlled by my employer. That gives them way too much control over you, especially in a foreign country. So if you lose your job, then you lose your house too. So we moved out immediately as soon as we could, but the only thing we could find was tiny. The only place, there was a loft with a ladder going down to the kitchen / living room.
Was it a Leo Palace?
I don't know what that is.
The Leo Palace is like, it's like a rental company here where it's like all the single people live in, and it's just like essentially they're like containers. And
sounds similar.
Yeah.
But the only place that I could sleep was literally it was smaller than the room I'm in now, the apartment, and the loft was up there. It was literally the only place on the floor that was big enough for me to lay down, and I'm not a big guy, was at the bottom of the ladder. So if he came down
you were
the ladder,
You remember that overlooked at the ladder? Yeah,
dude.
You showed that
fall,
picture.
and he was like 200 pounds, man. He was a big Hawaiian dude, and he could have crushed me. It was. I went to bed every night wondering if in the middle of the night a large guy American was gonna fall on me in the middle of the night. It could.
Well, where I am now, like the building I live in looks just like the ones in this picture, right? They're all kind of similar here. It's got a balcony, got a tatami room, and tatami is like the matted floor. So I got two tatami rooms, kitchen, bathroom, and 2 bedrooms. One bedroom I've turned into my office here. The other bedroom is where myself, my wife, my 2 kids, we all sleep together. Very Japanese way of life.
Yeah.
But, actually, I enjoy it. It's fun. Kids are hilarious, reading story time, going to bed. But I remember, like, growing up as a kid, always thinking about how expensive Japan is, hearing how expensive it is. But nowadays, I live, including 2 parking spaces, and I'm in a 10-minute walk to the nearest train station. I can walk to the convenience store. I can walk to the shopping mall. There's an aquarium only about a 15-minute walk away. So all these amenities nearby, and my rent comes out to about 600 Canadian dollars a month.
Wow.
And then you look at the prices in Canada or the States, and it's like insane. Yeah. I'm like, people are getting so ripped off back in North America, like rental fees and stuff.
And Doug 35 makes a good point. The smog level makes a big difference in how clear it is. I didn't really find too much smog in general in Japan.
You get smog's not so bad. What you get is the yellow sandstorms off the Gobi Desert. From China, from the Gobi, the sand drifts in. Yeah. And it can make skies really yellow. So this picture, I took this picture. You can actually, you can see the bridge there. You can see the same bridge in the picture before. On the,
Okay.
So this is further back in the valley. Thank you, Tony. And this is from Kampira-san, which is like a really cool shrine. But that mountain in the middle is called Sanuki Fuji. So it's our local Fuji mountain.
That's really what it's called, because it's like miniature. It's like a mini Fuji.
It's our mini. It's just 1/8 the size. Our mini Fuji mountain. It's awesome. Yeah, so that's a fun hike going up Sanuki Fuji. Nice quick hour up, hour down. So yeah, that gives a feeling of the valley, kind of the area I live in, kind of mixed, kind of suburban countryside-ish. That's right, Sanuki Fuji Pirate Dark. Sanuki is the old name for the area I'm in. It's called Kagawa now, but it used to be called Sanuki. Oh, I can't hear you. Canadian Spider-Man, you're muted.
I can hear you. I'm right here. I'm listening. Yeah, I just like hearing you.
And Pirate Dark, you did. You spelled it perfectly. Yeah. That's another, like they still use the word Sanuki for is Sanuki udon. So my area is famous for udon. So definitely, if you're ever going to eat any good udon, come to where I am. Best udon you'll ever have, and cheap, super cheap.
Yeah,
it's like $4 for like a huge meal.
Yeah. That's it. The food in Japan was so affordable, and I really miss that. Man, no kidding.
All right, well, let's go to the next picture. Let's see what's next. I think they're all out of order, but I don't care.
I got ambience for every one of them. I hope so.
Ooh, so this here is
you only sent me 3 by email, so this is the last one you sent me, right?
Oh, I sent you there should be 6 emails.
To negatory, no.
Are you serious?
I am serious. I was expecting more.
Oh yeah, I sent you 6 emails. What the heck's wrong with this thing? All right, well that's Marugame Castle.
Okay.
So this castle is interesting. I can see it from the other side of my house if I go out to the other side of my apartment from my balcony. And this is famous for a few reasons. First, it is the smallest castle in Japan. So the actual building is the smallest castle. But it has the tallest castle walls in Japan. So it's got the biggest walls for the smallest castle. It's just hilarious. It's so cute.
Sometimes a man has to have his priorities. Okay.
I know. So someone's like,
And,
I want walls, big walls, huge walls. And then it came time to build the castle. It's like, I'm all out of money. Can we just... What do we got?
That's
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's right. Pirate Dark Tiny was talking about the capsule hotels. The capsule. Yeah, you can literally get rent almost basically a slide-in coffin. You like out of the Fifth Element. Do you remember the Fifth Element when they went on the cruise ship? Yeah.
That's about how big they are.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah, that's right. Coffin beds, and yeah, you can get different levels of comfort in there, but yeah, absolutely.
And also, like the other famous story about these walls is how they're sloped. It's actually kind of unique in Japan as well. And the architect for it, because he wanted to make it like, obviously the feudal lord, he wanted to make like the most invasion proof possible, right? And the architect's like, all right, this is the best we got. And the feudal lord was really proud of this. He's like, look at this. No one can climb these walls. But maybe the architect was forced to do it. He's kind of an idiot. He's like, there's only one trick to do it. And he showed him how you could climb it. Then, of course, the feudal lord just killed the architect. So the secret didn't get out. They pushed him down a well and then threw a stone on top. So
wow.
That's what you get for doing a good job.
That's interesting. What do you think? What do both of you think about Kivan 6's comment here? Tony, do you mind reading it and then have Fermented Cinema, both of you, speak about it?
Yes, Kivan 6, I agree. He says the yen is really low now. Japan is having a new problem of rude tourists due to it being reasonably affordable to purchase things there. It is, and it's only going to get worse with the Fukushima disaster, which is now, 10, 11, 12 years ago, and just they already are a homogenous people and they look at us with disdain. So it only makes things worse whenever, tourists come in and all like, like very rude.
I'll say there's like three things happening for this with the conception of the rude tourist right now. The first thing is Japan was really locked off from the world for about 3 years during COVID. So for a 3-year period, the only foreigners you saw here were foreigners who lived here, like myself and like my friends and stuff. Whereas like resident foreigners who most of them are married to Japanese people, have half Japanese kids. And in a way, the Japanese treat you kind of noticeably different because you can speak Japanese. When you live here long enough, you start acting more Japanese, right? So even though you still stick out like a sore thumb, you're not quite as abrasive to them. So it's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, all the restrictions were lifted and you had this pent up demand of 3 years of people who'd wanted to come to Japan. So you just got a flood of foreigners suddenly come to Japan. And it was like a shock again. After 3 years of no tourists, now you got like a tidal wave of tourists coming in. So it was a little overwhelming that way, especially for Japanese culture, which is very insular. And then you also got now the TikTok generation, the fucking morons. I'm sorry, the fucking idiots who come in and they're rude and obnoxious and filming themselves in like the most and Japanese hate it when you block something. A sidewalk is walking space. It's not standing and digging around space in Japan. And you get all these influencers and stuff that just stand there. This is my tits hanging out in Japan. Or this is me being rude in Japan. Like especially, yes, Johnny Somali.
Johnny
that guy was
Somali.
That guy was like case number one. Super douchebag. And just literally his whole gag was coming around harassing Japanese. And making it totally like a bad image for like foreigners here and stuff. And yes, the idiots with sticks, they got their sticks out like this and filming me, la 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 la. And it's like, it's not saying that you can't do videos in Japan, you can, but again, if you live here, you know more of where you can do it, where you can't. Go to like a hiroba, which means like a public space, like a public square. You can do it there because you can go off in a corner where people tend to stand and sit and snack and stuff. And that's where you do it. You don't do it in the middle of walking spots or like sidewalks and stuff, right? Like, it's just so annoying. Yeah. Again, they don't know in Japan, they call it the wa. the method of doing stuff. They don't know the law.
Right.
So, yeah. And then, of course, there's just the outright people are directly like harassing people, which is like the absolute worst. So, and again, like anything that also, like, as Pleasant Valley said, of course, amongst all the legitimate complaints and the legitimate concerns, it also brings the xenophobic people out of the woodwork because it's their chance to shine, right? Kind of as well. Yeah. So, it's that kind of sucks. Luckily, in my area, again, I'm not in Tokyo or Osaka, so I don't feel it anywhere near as much here, which is nice. Yeah, you're not supposed to film people without their permission. So, like, I've done filming here. We'll maybe even see a video of it where I film people, but it's all permitted. Like, I've gotten permission by everyone involved to do it. You don't just sneak up and film people or anything weird like that. Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's very invasive.
And Canadian Spider-Man, did you check your spam email folder?
I did, and that's exactly where I found them. So I'm currently downloading them right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Doug35, I know that's not a popular opinion in some circles, but I kind of agree with you. Japan owes their success because they're not divided. They are all rowing the boat in the same direction. They, and I enjoy a lot of multicultural. I mean, obviously, I travel the world. But, I mean, you can't deny their success, right?
Well, it's actually Doug35 brings up a good point about multiculturalism. This is one of those things, again, where it's like in the middle works best. The extreme closing off to the outside world usually you become stagnant. And like Japan had that where they closed themselves off like during the Edo period and stuff, right? And then when they opened up, they quickly caught up on technology, right? Like, they realized the rest of the world was advancing. Oh crap, we got to catch up to them. So they opened up to like the British, right? What I call it is like compatible cultures, or at least compatible people. Like in general, like I'm married Japanese women. We got half Japanese kids. A lot of my friends are married Japanese women, Japanese men. And in general, even though we're obviously culturally different, the priorities of our cultures are compatible. So we can live in a compatible society. But
I'd agree, PvP.
Yeah. But there's other cultures that are not as compatible with each other. And I don't want to point fingers to say names, but there's big ones that come out of an Eastern place in the middle that is not as compatible with Western values or East Asian values as, say, they are with each other, type of deal. So that's why, like, when you look at the West, and you look at they talk about Asian immigrants in North America, they do fine in North America. They excel, right? Because the cultures are compatible enough that they can actually blend. But then you get other groups that they don't make any attempt to join the mother culture, and they become these weird enclaves and then they start resenting. It's really weird. Like what you see happening with a lot of European countries. They invited a lot of people that don't believe in the values of the country they're moving to. So that's the issues. Yeah. That's a lot to take in there. I guess Japan has a problem with birth rate is dropping. Yes, unfortunately, yeah, TikTok are morons in Canada too. Yes, of course, I agree 100%. I also hate the freaking portrait format video. I hate that so much. I made a whole video about that. Your eyes are horizontal, not vertical. Watch videos horizontally, people. Yeah. But yeah, the birth rate in Japan is concerning. I think it's like 1.3 or 1.2 per woman now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well,
Canada's not far behind.
Is it too expensive to raise kids in Japan? Is that the deal, like it is here?
We're raising kids now, and I think it's more. I get in trouble for saying this, but I think it's more selfish attitudes. I think people have gotten so used to having the lifestyle of I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. I want my cafe latte. I want this. I want my club party night into my 40s and 50s. That when you have a kid, you have to sacrifice that. But I'll tell you right now, with 2 kids, 110,000% worth the sacrifice. Like I go out maybe 1/10 to 1/20th what I used to, I wouldn't change that for the world now, having 2 kids. We went to the zoo on the weekend, and we rent an apartment. We don't own a house, right? We don't, using that as an excuse, can't have kids, I don't own a house. Nope, you can do it renting, and just fine. We went to the zoo. Best day I've had in months. It was so much fun watching my son and daughter just having so much fun petting chickens and rabbits and stuff. And it makes you feel like a kid again too. It was so great. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I think that's kind of universal. It's just in the developed world, people have gotten too used to living a very superficial life that has only really existed for the last 60 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, PvP. That is the case here too, where I am. Multiculturalism has been official since the 70s in my community. Everyone gets along, but the difference back then in the 70s was a lot of the people coming over, they were vetted. There wasn't very much immigration, and everyone that came in. I mean, I had the Japanese fiance that I was with, I went through the process, and we went through together. She became a permanent resident of Canada. And so, but there was a big process. That was 20 years ago. There's a big process. And we had to give every detail. Now, if they stick to that, if they did it like they did in the 70s, I'm on board with it. My neighbors were Vietnamese. They were a great asset to the whole community.
Also at that time, there was also pride in Canada and America. It was like, welcome to Canada. You're Canadian now. We're Canadian. And there was actually pride in the country. Now it's, I hate Canada. We did this and that. We're terrible. No. You shouldn't change your ways. It's like, no.
Very successful, Dominic Douglas.
Yeah. It doesn't matter about the race or whatnot, as long as you can all enjoy the same values, right? And that's what we used to have. And it wasn't always perfect, because people say that when we let in tons of Irish and Italians in at the same time, there was huge problems with that. They were fighting each other. And
absolutely.
Yeah. And I can say that because I'm half Italian, and I remember the stories my grandpa would tell of him and the Irish community duking it out.
Well, did you know Italians weren't considered white, part of the white race at one time? Yeah. They were. Yeah, weird.
Us Italians have officially become white.
That as an American in Quebec. Yeah.
Us Italians have officially become white as soon as white wasn't cool anymore. Fuck. God damn it.
That's true. They do have tourism, but they don't want you being a permanent resident. The only way I was able to live in Japan for a year and a half was through English teaching. But there was many times when I was traveling throughout the countryside in Japan where I was the only white guy in the train, for sure. There's not a lot of multiculturalism in Japan, and they are able to be very successful. They make it work. They are able, but it's hurt them in some ways, and I think they're opening up more to the West. I think
they are. To be honest, they should have started opening up a little more like 20 years ago, because the problem now is if they want to opening up now, if they want to keep the population somewhat stable, they're going to have to let in a lot of people at one time.
But why? Again, that's what PvP is saying here, and I don't understand why. What's wrong with going back to the population we had back in the 50s? What's wrong with that?
I'll say that
I have no problem with that.
The problem with it is when people think about population decline and shrinking, they tend to think of every age bracket shrinking at the same time. When that's not what happens. No, you get this horrible inverted pyramid where you have a very few young people that can actually do the jobs, pay the taxes, do the work, and then you have a whole bunch of old people at the top that just leech off the system, and it just destroys the social and economic fabric. So you need young people, and you need workers, and you need people that are generating economic output instead of just taking, right? Which once you're over 70, you're essentially just taking because you.
But they've already contributed, and that money has been tucked away and saved.
They have, but
for their use.
But no, the money
I could probably explain it a little bit better.
The money they tucked away to save was paid for the older people before them. Yeah, so that's how the pension systems work, right? So now our money's paying for them, and then when we're old, our children's money pays for us. And when you have it like this, there's not enough
Yeah.
money, right, for the people there, again, the pensions. Yeah.
But there would have been, when the population was expanding, there would have been huge, there would have been surplus because the boomers was huge and there wasn't that many.
They pissed it all away.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to. And
Yeah.
how is so? I don't, but we can't. But this idea that, see, I work this company right here. Do you know what happened to Nova? Do you know why? What happened? They failed miserably, Fermented Cinema, and they still are.
I know.
now.
I remember hearing.
But
Yes.
because their business, and I mean, I worked for them. I saw it. Their business strategy was to open a new school every month. The ever expanding expansion, forever ad infinitum. That's not possible, and they crashed and burned because of it. The same thing happened to Interwest, the company in British Columbia, the largest skiing company, ski resort company in Canada. So you can't expand forever. That's not.
No. You can't expand forever. But when you want population, what you want is stable. You want stable.
You want in
Two
reality,
kids each.
you want as straight lines as possible.
Yeah.
With a little bit of a larger base of a pyramid, so it looks more like a ziggurat, not a pyramid, right?
Yeah.
So we can't adapt with technology.
You don't want this. You don't want this. You want like this.
Possible.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
We won't be in the same form.
Yeah, expanding like this is you can't do it because it's too much
because
resources.
the money isn't there yet. And that means that what the problem is, and this is the biggest problem that we face.
And I did get your other
in
pictures.
America, it's everywhere. This generation has everything handed to them on a silver platter. Anything that they could need, they could want. And when they become dependent on the same system that the people that put the money in for the people behind them did, then there isn't going the damage to say Social Security. That's a real issue. That is an issue. And the reason why that is because we are now in a society where we are literally looking down at our phones to the point that we're growing extra gristle at the base of our neck.
Dark 35 and Pirate Dark, exactly. You want like 1% growth rate. You don't want like 10% or 12%. 1% is perfect because it's just super slow and steady. But the problem with like population collapse is, as we said, the money, because the producers disappear first, and you're left with very old population, and you're just gonna have to say goodbye to our quality of life because there aren't the people there to run the services and to invest in the technologies and to invest in the R&D. It all disappears.
It's
so
gone.
It either
it's
goes
plateau.
And then we've already built our infrastructure for how many people are here. So you got to think like in Japan, how many bridges and tunnels and train lines and buildings there are to upkeep. If you cut the people in half, then a lot of stuff becomes derelict, right?
But you don't need all, because you don't have the population. You don't need that much infrastructure.
But
it sort of takes care of itself.
But it rots and it creates like unsafe. It creates places for unsavory people to set up shop, and also it's when stuff starts collapsing like that, people become actually less focused on the environment. So you have less regulations. People be dumping out more garbage, and people and
there you go.
It's kind of weird.
So
all right,
talking about nature.
Yes.
Fermented Cinema. Can you read Sean Carter's comment, and then we'll look at your picture.
The United States birth rate is dropping also. I think it's just a generational thing. Selfish. I hope that was like close to Sean Carter's voice, and I agree.
Balance is needed. You're right, PvP. People are a little agreed. Japan is willing to sacrifice economic growth to preserve themselves.
They're trying to bring in people now. A lot of Philippine people. I see where I am. Like you don't see a lot of foreigners like Americans or Canadians, but you see a lot of Philippine, a lot of Peruvians, and a lot of Indonesians working in the shipyards now and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Japan will be in serious trouble if they remain ice solution. Well, they're better than they were. And
the thing is with Japan is they embrace new ideas and new people very, very slowly.
I was going to say selectively.
And
selectively, yes.
They want to cover everything as clear and as concise as possible.
Yeah, that's why, like, for like myself and my friends, like, you're not going to be able to get like permanent resident status without like a 4-year degree in something, at least bare minimum.
Right.
Yes,
because they want educated people. They want stable, and you can't have no criminal record history. So you can't have like they even ask for like your driver's abstract and stuff.
Oh yeah,
which is good as a Canadian because for some reason we have a deal. All my American friends and like my Aussie friends and stuff, you can use your international driver's license for 1 year. After that, you have to get a Japanese driver's license. And for Americans, It's a huge pain in the ass because you got to do like so many training hours. It costs like thousands of dollars, and and the test has like 80% fail rate. So you got to do the test like 2 or 3 times. But for a Canadian, we just go in and just switch. That's it. There we go.
Yep.
Give us your Canadian license, and we give you the Japanese one. Thanks. Done.
Right.
So, すいません。ごめんなさい. I'm sorry.
So yeah. What about this photo here?
All right. So,
and I can do better than this, I think.
There we go. That's the sound effects. We got the cicadas chirping. This is the highest mountain in Shikoku. It is oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah, it's 1,989 or like 98 meters. So it's pretty decent. Yeah, it's just under 2,000 meters. So Ishizuchi-san is the mountain, and it is a gorgeous spot to go hiking. I recommend hiking in the fall, like October. I think it closes down mid-November because it does start to snow like a bastard up here in the winter on top of this mountain.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, and it doesn't open again until about April or May, which is hilarious because like I'm at the same latitude as like Los Angeles, yet the mountains here get pounded with snow and they're not particularly tall. And even down here at the base at sea level, there's about 4 or 5 times a year I see snow flurries. So it's interesting how cold it gets here for the relatively southern latitude. But again, eastern side of the continent, we get all that wind ripping off the Siberian expanse, right? So really cool things down here in the winter. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next picture because we're gonna hopefully the next one's the same up on the mountain here.
Yeah. Okay. I think so. Let's.
Oh man, I love walking through these trails.
That.
Oh no! Oh, whoops! We're back off. That's back to my apartment.
Yeah.
There's a good old summer thunderstorm forming. There we go. Now we're back on the mountain.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the mountain.
Back on the mountain.
Yeah. You can see hiking up here. Again, the hikes are gorgeous because like it's all these like stone pathways and stairways that have just been around for hundreds of years. So like even like these like goat paths have like great stories on them and just like really interesting historical locations you can find. So nice view looking down. Oh my god, cicada season really starts here. I heard the cat too. Yes. In Japan,
that wasn't from my soundboard. That was from my Which isn't there a town in Japan that's basically like Miko town?
Oh yeah, no, actually there's an island. There's an island pretty close to where I am. It's actually really close. There's probably a few of them, but there's one really close to where I am, and it's Cat Island. And you just go there. You get off the ferry. And it almost feels like a horror movie because like there's no cats. You don't see them. Once you step off the ferry, out of everywhere, it's just cats. Just coming out of every crevice.
That is the hive. That is the hive that I want.
Get back to the boat. Oh my God.
That's
they got me.
Aren't the cats like basically considered citizens there? And aren't they free range citizens?
Pretty much,
how they're treated? Yeah.
Yeah, they love cats here. There's another island. Literally, the next island over is known as Rabbit Island, and that one's You guessed it, infested with crocodiles. I mean, rabbits.
Rabbits.
Yeah. So if you guys come around here, I'll take you to those islands. They're interesting. Just make sure you bring lots of like snacks with you, carrots and.
I'll be sure to bring
tuna.
out a big bag of Temptations.
Well,
Yeah.
I think you just described the snacks are living on the island.
Yes. And then we can have a little lunch ourselves.
No, not if I'm there. You'll do that without me.
No.
Take no kitties.
What about the
Rabbits, sure, but not kitties.
Oh, buckshot
Rabbits,
rabbit.
yes. Rabbits definitely, but not the kitties.
All right. I think the next picture should be the peak of the mountain, which is like a really cool spot.
Okay.
Oh, no. It's the gate. So again, going up, walking up. You pass through a lot of these. Yeah, going up. It's quite a vertical. The last 30 minutes of this walk are, well, depends how fast you are. The last 30 minutes to an hour of this trek gets really vertical. And there's this hilarious part where they actually got like some metal grating walkway, but I can't figure out for the life of me. The railing is on the side of the mountain, and the side that's like on the cliff is like open, and you just fall. I'm like, I think they put the railing on the wrong side. What the hell's going on here?
Wow, that's crazy. Hey, Radioactive is here. Hello and welcome, Radioactive.
Radioactive.
Like that song.
The advocate for Vanilla Nuke.
Hello to you. No, that's gorgeous. And you always see the paper folded things hanging from them all.
Yeah, those are like say like good luck charms or like fortunes kind of. Yeah. No, it's cool. All right, the next picture should be the big boss picture. You're gonna love this.
Okay.
Hopefully the emails. Dang. Oh, it's a good picture too.
To be fair, this is a pretty boss picture.
That is gorgeous.
Thank you.
That is gorgeous.
I took this picture. So this is the Seto Sea, which is like where I live on the sea between Shikoku and Honjima, and come on, right? And Okayama and Hiroshima prefectures. Gorgeous. This was I was on the ferry coming home from work, and this was the sunset during I think it's like around October, November time. It's just a beautiful place. So I love the Seto Sea. And there's an island on the Seto Sea that I got pictures of that I'm going to show you here. So let's go to the next one.
Yep.
$50 says we go back to the mountain. Oh, no, this is the island. Okay. So this is Teishima. Now, unfortunately, there's like two or three islands called Teishima.
Oh, that's handy.
And
there's a couple of abikos as well.
This one's kanji is literally hand, Teishima. So the kanji for hand, te.
Because te means hand. Yes.
Yeah. So this is Hand Island. It's a tiny island. It's about
karate, empty hand.
That's right. Karate is empty hand. See, karate. There we go. And this is tiny island. It's about like a mile and a half, like 2 kilometers wide and like 3 kilometers in the long. It's quite a small island, and I've been going here. I've made quite a few videos on here on a different YouTube channel that I've just done some videos for like the local city and prefectural government they use. I also load them up on like this other little old YouTube channel of mine, which I got like driving videos and random travel videos. And this here is the town that's on the island, and this is where we're talking about depopulation. This is where depopulation gets depressing, because this island has a really all these islands have their own unique culture and really interesting heritage. For example, there's a pepper that they raise on this island that's only grown here. It's delicious spicy pepper, but it's only grown on this island. And this island had a population of around 560 people 50 years ago. And they had an elementary school, which was, full of students. So there was like life on the island, kids around. The population of the island today is 14 people.
Oh.
So almost all those houses you see there are empty and like decaying. Wow. Only about like 10 of them are still actually inhabited. and which is quite depressing. Most of the people are in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. And you can see them like clinging onto the traditions of the island, but it's like interesting that soon it's going to be all lost to time, right? So we're kind of there filming it and documenting it before it's gone. The school that's there has been converted into a hostel, so you can stay at the hostel overnight, which is really neat.
Very cool.
You can hang out in Kocho Sensei's office, which drinks some beers there on principal's office on the couches and stuff, which is a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So it's a really neat place, but it's just the first time I went there, I had a population of 22 people. So literally since I've lived here, I've known 8 people that have passed away there. And
wow.
Like there was this old man that was a fisherman. He was like fishing until his 90s, like amazing. The old curator of the hostel, again, he was working until like his like 80s, late 80s as well. So like these are all like really hardworking people. Very rural countryside farmers, and they got fascinating stories to tell. And like I've been scanning some of their pictures from their picture books from old festivals they had on the island. It looked like so much fun. There was one foreigner that lived on the island, and it was either Swedish or like Finnish guy, someone from like the Scandinavian, some rich guy that came and he built like a summer house here on the island, which is absolutely bizarre. So like there's a whole like, you can see like so much pictures of him like interacting with the community. This is like 40 years ago, 30 years ago he did this.
Yeah, wow.
Which is absolutely hilarious. He was like he owned like a big shipping company, like so like he could sail in by himself essentially on his yacht and come here, which is hilarious.
Gorgeous.
So again, like really interesting historical things.
Yeah. Tony, do you mind reading our friend Kivan 6's comment?
There's something majestic and inspiring about a lone Tory arch simply standing at the foot of a path. Yes.
You can hear the
gateway to another realm kind of vibe.
Especially on a misty, cool fall afternoon. You can feel the spirits in the woods awakening for their nightly festival of sake and good times.
Or if you're on the Cat Island, the cats in the woods in the mist awakening for their sake and good times.
Yep. And I know it's going to be a ghost island, and this just sucks thinking about like that. It's such a unique.
What's wrong with that? I don't see that it does prove your point. I have no problem with that island just becoming a ghost island. That's fine. Japan will. That's fine. They will not care. It will disappear, and Japan will be just fine.
And it'll be repopulated eventually at some point.
Eventually, maybe it won't. We can adapt. We can absolutely adapt. And so what if all those houses sit empty? So what if the roads fall and they just get destroyed? Who cares?
I feel like if you were to go there and meet the people and meet the community, and because it's all these unique cultural activities, and it's like when languages are lost, right? There is something to it
but that's always happened.
So basically,
I know
endangered species. Animals have always been.
Oh no, Tony dropped out. Look, see, we've already lost Tony. Talking about depopulation.
No, he'll come back. He'll come back. The duck of death. Wow, that's gorgeous, my friend.
That's the mountain peak. There we go. So that's the peak. That's the summit there.
Oh, I'm happy I got it. Hold on.
I've
been getting duck of death pretty severe, guys. Been getting duck of death pretty severe. That's gorgeous.
So as you can see, this was like in mid-October, and the fall colors were just on the mountain peak. So like down the valley was still green and lush, but just at the peak, like the autumn cool had set in. Yeah, so this is cool. So you can hike along the ridge there and go up to the top. Absolutely gorgeous. So Ishisuchi-san, if you're in Japan, it's a good day hike. About 5 hours up and then you want to spend a good hour or so on the top. Have a nice lunch. They sell beer at the top. There's a little.
Of course they do. There's a vending machine at the top, isn't there?
Yeah. It's the most delicious beer you'll ever drink because there's a little shrine at the top, and they got some cold beer for sale. So you just sit there. So imagine just sitting there with the wind in your face, nice cool autumn breeze, looking at this view as like the clouds sail by, enjoying a fresh, delicious, crisp beer after just doing a 5-hour hike. You got yourself. You feel like you're both emotionally and literally on top of the world.
It's a beautiful view.
Yeah. So
yeah, Japan will depopulate, but I mean, there was a time in history when Japan only had half of the population they have now, and it'll be painful, but they'll survive. It'll be fine. You can't you can't bring it, fight it with a bunch of immigration, then it's no longer Japan, is it?
Well, see, that's the thing is,
if you overdo it, you got to be
here's the sad thing. The most
saying,
in my opinion,
encouraging young folks to settle in the island. Yeah, that's hard though. What's in the island to attract young folks?
Actually, Pleasant Valley, they have been doing that, and 4 of the people that live on the island now are younger people. One guy who's trying to save the peppers. He started pepper farming. A couple that are artists, and one other guy that's like another artist. So there are like 4 young people that moved to the island, because Japan will actually pay you to move to these places, to settle out of Tokyo or out of Osaka. They'll pay you to come to these places, and then you take a house, and they'll give you like $40,000 of money to spend refurbishing the house.
Wow.
And encouraging you maybe to Airbnb it or something, right? Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Italy has €1 houses on some of their smaller islands. I was looking at Corsica. Or is it Corsica? Yeah. Was it? Shit. No, it was Sardinia, I think. Sardinia. And yeah, you can get a house with property for €1, but you have to renovate it. I guess.
Yeah, there are catches to it. Actually, the only
do need
country...
a base number population PvP. You're right. It's we got to figure out what that is. Yeah, you're right.
Actually,
is it Sardinian? Okay, thank you, Doug. Yes, Corsica is France. Yep, you're right. It was. I knew it wasn't right when I said it. It is Sardinia.
Now, I might have gotten some of the facts jumbled on this, but Romania currently is like the only country that's kind of starting to buck the trend of like shrinking population, like birth rates, where there's
their women are hot. Have you seen the women there?
Well,
they're not blue-haired cows. Yeah.
Well, they aren't in Japan either, but somehow it's going down. Despite Japan's got the cutest women in the world. And look at Korean women, absolutely gorgeous.
The men are pretty
but the lowest birth rate in the world.
That's the problem, right? You need men with testosterone and semen.
No, thank you, Sean Carter. Thanks for listening in.
Oh, okay. Sean Carter says, "Hey, I need to hit the rack, but this has been fascinating. Thank you for sharing Fermented Cinema. I'll catch the rest of this show tomorrow." Fantastic. Well, yeah, and I will be showing the thumbnail photo of the fertility section before we. I'll end with that. But yeah, your photos are fantastic, man. I won't even bother showing mine because we've got lots now that I found your others. they were in my junk folder. Yes. So here you go. What's this one?
Well, this is the island.
Beautiful.
That's Teishima from the air. It's also nice about these countrysides is you can get the drone out and there's no problems, right?
Wow. So that gives you a whole different element to your photos.
Yeah. So there's drone. It's just a gorgeous spot. This beach is beautiful for swimming. Gone swimming there more than a few times, and at nighttime you can see the bioluminescence. So you go in the water and it just glows like that beautiful like alien blue glow. It's just amazing.
Yeah. I've seen in Nicaragua it was a yellowy green. Vietnam was blue, maybe. Yeah, it's incredible, the bioluminescence. And
they're in the Gulf Islands of Vancouver Island too.
Oh yeah,
you can see them there. Yeah, they're blue there as well. They tend to like island chain areas is what I kind of found. Yeah,
no blue milk, no
blue milk, but blue bioluminescence. There you go.
Ooh, Pleasant Valley. Would you mind reading PvP's comment here, Tony?
I just say pay me to impregnate hot Canadian babes. I would be happy to do my patriotic duty.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do in Japan.
To keep up the population. Indeed.
Big at Japan. All right, you're big at Japan. All right.
That's a big problem. Family is a hassle. It is too much risk. A lot of you're as a man, your children can be taken away from you pretty easily under the right circumstances. And I can understand that opinion. It's not worth the effort,
I
whether that's spoiled.
I can see that, but for me personally, I still don't think that. I think that the joy of having children outweighs that risk. Kids are amazing, and even just knowing
you got to pick right. You got to pick. Don't pick a crazy person.
You got to be wise with which lady you pick. Obviously, of course.
Ooh, yeah. Does that beach get swarmed during Golden Week? And explain, please, what Golden Week is.
So Golden Week is the big holiday in May in Japan. There's like 3 government holidays that line up, and you will get essentially a 5-day weekend. So this is like Japan's big holiday. Everyone travels at the same time. Yep. Yeah, highways. It's like this in.
Have a good night, PvP. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yes, thank you.
Good night, bud. Before he gets any stillier, he needs to crash and get some sleep. Man, it's great having you in the chat, PvP, and it's great to have alternative.
And check out Fermented Cinema if you haven't.
Yes, like, please subscribe to. Yes. Thanks, PvP.
And so then Golden Week is like, because you got like Oshogatsu, which is New Year's, which is a big holiday, but it's midwinter, so kind of cold. This is like the warm holiday. It's in mid-May. It's a beautiful time. Usually it's sunny. So people go swarm all the tourist spots. And what's nice about here is it's so off the beaten path. You come to this beach, Golden Week, empty. You're probably the only person there. So you can just set up camp for the day. You be by yourself. You have a barbecue with your friends. Just bring like a barbecue pit, and you'll have a great time. And no one even lives around there, on this side of the island. Town's on the other side of that hill. So you can play music and everything. Just have a good time.
I don't agree with childcare, Pirate. My mom raised the 4 of us, and unfortunately, it's expensive now. But I don't want the government raising our children. Fuck no. And government controls childcare. You better believe it. If you want to set up a childcare business, you step to whatever drum they're beating. So the government does control childcare, and I don't want my mom raised us with our dad, and 2-parent family was fantastic. And if you can't afford to do that and have one parent stay home, then don't have kids. And sadly, that's maybe the problem. But that's my opinion. And we welcome all opinions. If you don't agree with me, and I know PvP, you and I don't agree on some things, and Philip Gaming. Hello, welcome to you, Philip Gaming. Oh, and Pirate.
Hello, welcome.
I don't know if we agree on everything, but you're welcome. Whatever opinion you have, it's free speech in this chat. So if you don't agree with me, you can say it absolutely, and I encourage.
If you think I'm dead wrong and dumb as shit, you can say it. You won't bother me.
Yep, and I will defend your right.
Respect is something that is, a lot of people try to put respect as in kin with you have to be the same alignment as me or the same opinion of me. No,
not
respect is just respecting another human being. I mean, it's not hard.
Exactly.
You can always find some common ground too on something. That's what you celebrate.
There's a famous American statesman, it might have been Ben Franklin, that said, actually, you should protect and fight for the right to speak for people you disagree with even more.
Yeah.
To have the difference in opinion. What's this photo? That's gorgeous, my friend.
So this is from the beach. This is from the beach looking towards the bridge. Same bridge you can see from my house. A little bit of a telephoto lens, but it's just a really gorgeous spot. And there's hundreds of these islands. The town that I'm in, 5 of them belong to the town I'm in, and I actually teach on one of them now, because not Teishima, but on the neighboring island Honjima, it has a population of around 200 people still, and they have an elementary school and a junior high school that's combined, and in total there are 8 students. So from grade 1 to grade 9, there's 8 students.
Wow, that's crazy.
But there's 15 teachers, so it's hilarious. There's more teachers than students.
Wow, okay.
So a lot of chiefs, not that many Indians.
Yes. So to be honest, these kids get quite a superb education because it's a lot of one-on-one tutoring and stuff, right? It's like having your own, and it does become.
I'm a pirate.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And you can feel it though, where it's like the school has more of a family feel than a school feel. It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
And the local parents are highly involved. What the school does too, because it's so close community there, right? So it's interesting. It's a lot of fun, and I go there once a week, every Tuesday.
That's fantastic.
Except today, because today I'm on a special assignment. That's why I can do this.
No, this is. Thank you for being here tonight. We're just about up to an hour and a half, and we have 41 people watching on YouTube, and even more on X. So that is fantastic.
Fantasticals.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
We have 41 watching on YouTube. Wow, hi guys.
We do. Yeah, and they've been with us for a while. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. I haven't driven them away. This is fantastic.
No, it's absolutely not. And Keyvan 6, nice. I've seen that before. Gamera versus Gauss. Of course, it was Toho model that got smashed by Gamera, but still beautiful view. Yeah, that bridge.
No, it was all practical. It was the real bridge. Japan spares no expense on there.
That's right. Well, that's why free speech in the Constitution, to protect people you disagree with. That's definitely on this. There's free speech in this channel. I won't probably get monetized for things that I've said and done, and that's fine. I have no interest in it. So. Hey, look, it's our friend William
Spielberg. Nice
Hello.
to see you,
Will.
Welcome,
man.
Is there an English corner where college students go to practice their English with foreigners? There are. I got a few part-time jobs here too, outside of my main job, and I actually teach at one of those. It's the bigger city, about 40-minute train ride from where I am, Takamatsu, and it's called IPAL. And it's like the International Exchange Center. And lots of like some university students, some like third year, final year high school students, and lots of senior citizens come to take the class. And it's where we just sit and chat and talk English and do English topics. It's a lot of fun, those types of classes. Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
So this is the next beach over, the same island. So we've done it where we've swam all around that peninsula, and that was a good swim, my friend.
Holy crap, eh? And that's weird because Japanese people generally don't swim.
No, they don't swim that much. It's bizarre. But they got these lovely
beaches. They're on an island,
and
they don't swim.
And you're on an island. It's interesting, but they don't really embrace
their fishing market. You would think that where the fishing market is, fishing is theirs, and there'd be a lot more people that would enjoy going for a dip.
Yeah,
you'd think. Yeah, that is nice. A pirate, absolutely. Holy cow!
What a beach, eh? It is gorgeous. There's even a little cave, just around the bend. There's a little cave on the other side. So we
got a grotto, huh? Nice.
Yeah, we brought some beers with us. Like we went swimming, so I had like a little pack of beers we towed behind us, like tied it to our feet, to our waist, and it kept it nice and cold.
That's a good way to get the beer cold.
That is, exactly.
Packed with ice, and then we brought it around, made it to the cave, and sat in the cave and had some beers. Pretty much every story in Japan ends with "and we had some beers."
Yeah,
Did you find King Willie's treasure in the cave?
No, we didn't. But you know what? We had some beers.
That sounds great. English Corner will be my first stop, says William Shakespeare Spielberg. Maybe make
yes. You come to Japan, come on over.
Yeah, man. I love Japan. I absolutely love it. I am a big fan. That is an interesting picture.
Yeah, this is what the streets look like in this little island, this little town. So lots of neat old stonework. I love the stonework in Japan because my dad being like Italian heritage, loves stonework. So we always building walls at our house. So coming to Japan, it's like, ooh, it's something they share with like the Mediterranean Europeans, kind of all this beautiful rock walls.
Can
I make a family? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's really fun making families too.
Usually start a family and then have some beers. Make a family and then have some beers.
Actually, this time usually the beers come first. It is great stonework.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah. So really gorgeous spot, and I've said like 100 times, but like honestly, anyone in the chat, of course, you guys, Spidey and Tony. If you come to Japan, I'm more than happy to take you to some of these places and go up the mountain, to this island. Yeah, because everyone goes to Tokyo and Osaka,
Japanese again,
which is wonderful, but it's off the beaten path that you get these really neat spots that you can't get anywhere else in the world. Yeah,
100%, man. 100%.
Yeah,
That was
that's
what
true.
we were talking about on the last show that we did when it was just Spidey and I. There's all these little locations that are always just right out of view, but if you discover them, they're worth every minute that you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Keep on six.
You're
exactly.
Right. Yes.
But it's one of those things where it's like, if you're responsible, you get rewarded. You can drink anywhere you like in Japan. You can drink in public. And then in return, Japanese people don't smash the shit out of the local streets or vandalize stuff like that.
They get hammered. You will see them in public hammered. Don't make no mistake there. Usually in business suits.
I saw a guy on the train that was so one time was my friend hammered as hell on the train, and he puked in his hands, which he then put in his satchel, which is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, but you don't want to make a mess on the train.
And nope, don't make a mess on the train. Then there was another guy who was taking the last train home. I didn't know him, some Japanese guy. I think it was like a freshman college year guy. And I was like, oh God. He went up for the Nomihodai, didn't realize how much he drank. He was so hammered. It's the last train, and it stopped at the station, and he went out to puke in the wastebasket. But he was so gone he couldn't get back on the train. And it's like the last train, and the conductor and everyone looking around like, okay, right, what's going on? All right, you get on the train. Oh, he's on the ground. Oh, he can't move. And the conductor's like, well, we got to go. Train, got to keep the schedule. Train's got to go. So they just called like the station attendant at that station, kind of like, here's your problem now. Where the train's going. See you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you see them sleep on the platform maybe overnight and then go back to work in the morning sometimes.
Yep. You know? Actually, that's what a lot of those capsule hotels are for, is you go out drinking all night, you get hammered, you miss the last train home. And what would happen is these kaishain, these businessmen, they sleep in the capsule hotel, and then their wife in the morning brings them a change of clothes and like a toothbrush. And and then get to work, honey. You're hungover as shit and absolutely awful, but if you don't go to work today, you're not coming home tonight.
That's right. That's right. And because it's expected to go drinking with the boss after work. That's where the real business, the real work gets done after 5 o'clock in Japan, and it's what I've been.
So nice to see you, Anti-Derivative Jill.
Anti-Derivative Jill. Do you mind reading this, Tony, please?
She says, hi, can't stay, but this is amazing. I'm so happy that you're making these. Spidey, do you know what's happening on Thursday?
No. What day is it today?
Monday. Tuesday in Japan, where I am, but I believe it's Monday where you are.
She wants to know what travel video you're going to cover on Thursday.
I don't know, but if you have any suggestions, Anti-Dirt Jill, if you want to come on, Thursday's wide open. I don't have a scheduled guest yet right now. So though it's wide open, and the invitation is yours. Oh, do you mind reading this, Fermented?
Japanese get hammered, and they become your best friends for life. Scottish people get hammered, and then they are ready to brawl. Yes, pretty much. And that's why in Japan, you can drink in public anywhere.
That's exactly why. Because, oh, hey, now I've seen these little red scarves on little stone statues all over Japan.
And actually, I want to quickly address this comment there about Scottish.
Oh, yes.
I've heard a lot of Japanese trying to speak English to me, very broken, sometimes very hard to understand. There was one time, it was this old man, about 80-something, with no teeth in his mouth. And this is only like a year after I got to Japan. And he's also speaking Sanuki-ben, which is the local dialect. All the textbooks are from Tokyo, so you don't learn that. And oh my God, this guy's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, dude. That was the second most difficult person to understand I've met in Japan. The most difficult person to understand met in Japan was a Scottish guy at the bar. I didn't know what the fuck he was saying to me. And he's speaking his Scottish English. And I was like, what? No, dude, what? I can't follow this at all. What are you talking about?
Funny. No.
Yeah. So,
no, Yakuza wives would not like that.
Because Yakuza stay out drinking. They're getting a little on the side.
Yeah. Scottish is so hard to understand. You're right. Absolutely. Hello, John. Welcome to you.
Hello. Welcome and enjoy.
I finally see Jill's avatar large size. Yes, Jill has a wonderful avatar. Love it. That's actually her.
There she is. Yes. And Live long and prosper.
Yes.
That's better. There we go.
Yeah.
Doug35 says, but I'm part Scot. But Doug, the thing is, you're typing. I can understand you're typing.
That's right. Oh, okay. Do you want to read this one, Tony, please, from our friend William?
Panel guys, I've heard that drinking with the executives is quite important formality within the business society. True, i.e., if you're invited, you cannot decline. Yes, it is. It's a form of Kaizen. It's basically, the work relationship between employer and employee is very important.
But usually, the executive pays for the youngers, which is nice.
Yeah.
Though.
Yes. So you're not paying for your booze.
You're not paying for your drinks. So you drink for free. And you're expected to go. But Japanese society has changed a little bit because there are more people now that are like either designated driver or they don't drink as much. You can opt out from drinking alcohol and that won't be seen as bad. You can drink non-alcoholic beers with them.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
And that's okay. Yeah.
Hello, Jedi Bill. Welcome.
Yeah. So you don't have to get hammered, but you definitely should join the event. Like you should go.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
It'll look bad if you don't.
It's a generosity, and it's also a way for an employee to not be in a formal environment with their superior.
And you can open up.
Open up a little bit.
Yeah. And we'll open up some more of your true thoughts and concerns. Yeah.
Hence the alcohol.
So what are these red scarves around the stone statues? Now that has to do with children, doesn't it?
These are local deities. So you'll see a lot of these around. There's lots of like local deities and like it's your street corner deity, essentially. And each little shrine has its own theme. Some are for animals, a lot are for children, some are for money, some are for work, school. There was one that we went to, a shrine for children with, it was really fun because I guess the closest in English you could say is we did an exorcism because my little daughter is a cranky little one. She's hilarious.
Oh, wow.
And for fun, we went to this shrine that performs these, and it's literally like the English idiom. Now, how we say like you got a bug up your butt. That's almost exactly what it is in Japanese. To say there's a bug living in your child. Mushi haitemasu.
Yeah. Mushi meaning insect, or bug.
Mushi meaning insect. Yeah. So you go there to get the bug taken out, essentially.
Wow,
it was so cute. So we took her there. It was like a fun little thing. And again, that's what I love about just the Japanese culture is like it's technically a religious thing, but it's not really a religious thing. It's almost more just like I don't know how to explain it, where it's like it's different than the Abrahamic religions, where you don't have to be like part of the church to take part in an activity or something. Here it's like anyone can go. It's open to anybody, and it's not which I like. I like that. It's more like community than anything else, right? And it's just cute and fun. And so that's
why the red. Why the red? I wonder. Why does it have to be red? It's always red. The scarves.
It was red in general means good luck in
from a Chinese
Asian culture. From Chinese, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of this did come from China a long time ago.
Yes, Doug 35. One of my very best friends is a Scotsman from Glasgow, and the very first night we met, he tried to sit on my head. He was wearing a kilt. It wasn't good. We ended up fighting.
Oh God. Kilt action.
It was fun. And he was a true Scotsman, so it was not gonna happen. Hello to everybody, and hey, we have Pt.3. John.
Thanks for commenting. No worries.
Welcome.
We have a good one too.
And yes, good. Okay, good, Jill. I was hoping you could. We didn't confirm it. I'm glad. We will figure it out. Thursday's perfect.
Make sure he doesn't have a big party at his house.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, it was unplanned. Things happen around this house.
Don't worry. I'm just busting your balls.
But yeah, and I can relocate to the camper, but it takes a while. I gotta, get the power to it and all of that. So Auntie Jill says, yes, that avatar is really me. I'm getting a drawing done though, based on my other avatar. Well, fantastic, Jill.
Look forward to seeing it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the person who did this avatar for me is our good friend Mike, the Comic Relief Crusader.
Actually, I'm going to show you, of course, Fermented Cinema, my avatar. Let's see here. Did it go on? Come on.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome. Or
okay.
you can get hammered.
There we go.
I'm guessing.
So this one here, this was my first year in Japan. A student in class drew this of me. So yeah, and he gave this picture to me. So this was the picture a student drew of me. So this is my samurai Japanese art. I didn't draw it, he drew it me. So yeah,
you can tell.
So I kept this. I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I decided, you know what? Why not use this as my avatar? Because it's just hilarious. And it was just a doodle a student in my class, but it's so great. Yeah.
Good night to you, Pirate. Pirate Dark Tiny. Good night to you. Thanks for
Fair
joining
winds
us.
and following seas.
Thank you for all your comments. Thanks for listening, Pirate Dark.
Oh, that's an excellent, wonderful, excellent avatar.
Yeah, so that's the story behind that avatar.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, about these guys here. So this is neat. Now in Shikoku, there is a pilgrimage called the 88 Temples. And all around Shikoku, so Kagawa, Tokushima, Kochi-ken, which I love, and Ehime, which is where my wife is from, they have 88 temples. And you walk around the whole island and you go to all 88 temples. And as you're doing that, people, you wear the outfit. It's like a white shawl. You got the hiking stick. You got the hat. And they will give you like fruit and food. Some people will even give you accommodation for free because it's like you're doing a pilgrimage. And you visit all 88 temples. You get the stamp for each temple you go to. If you're going to walk it, it will take between 2 to 3 months to do, is the average of what people take. Really interesting. A lot of retired people do it, of course. Some foreign backpackers you'll see doing it. And what this is here is on this island, Teishima, they made their own 88 temples. So there's 88 of these little things around the whole island. So you can spend a day walking around the island and visiting all 88 of these miniature temples. It's just hilarious. It's fun and interesting. And I did that. Not all of them. I did about 12 of them that are like in the town area. So it's just interesting everywhere in Japan has these really interesting little cultural activities that you can take part in. So that's why I highly recommend people to get out of Tokyo or Osaka. Don't just do the big cities. In city stuff, you do city stuff. But when you get to the rural countryside areas, that's where you really start to get the unique experiences that you can't get on like just a simple bus tour or something like that. Yes. And the pub crawls here are a lot of fun as well, of course. Spidey, you there? I'm thinking he's ducked out for a second. Oh my goodness, because I want to get myself a beer, I'm thinking. Tony, you drinking any beer right now?
I'm actually coming down from the amount of drinking that I've done earlier today for the matinee, and I am here. Yeah, full night's rest tonight. I work in the morning, so
I see. All right. Well, hopefully you're able to hear what I was talking about with those 88 little temples.
I could hear you the whole time. I just had to get some water because
great.
My throat.
It's really
I don't have any beer at the house. All I got's whiskey, and I'm not about ready to have another shot of whiskey after coming down from it.
You know, I discovered I forgot I brought this back from Canada 2 years ago. I found I got some Fireball.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
It's good that you have a little bit of that weed eater fuel lying around, though.
We're back to the first pictures.
Yeah, it's bizarre what you miss though when you move away for like a decade. Pirate. What you miss is bizarre. It's like the stuff when I go back to Canada, what I want to eat. I'm like, I want to eat Whoppers, not because I'm half Italian, but because they're chocolate goodness. And I want to eat ice cream cake, and I want to drink freaking cheap ass Fireball whiskey.
Yeah,
it's bizarre what you miss. just like the cheapest snacks.
I don't miss no Fireball, believe you me, and I still live here. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's fucking radiator fluid and antifreeze.
Hey,
And Jill says when she worked
I'm
at
heating up.
IBM, yeah, her boss took me out to eat a few times. That was cool. The stories were great. Yeah, there's a lot of business that happens in Japan.
Was she in Japan?
No, I don't believe so. I don't.
No, her boss was doing Kaizen.
Ah, okay, I see. Okay, I thought she was touring Japan and her boss did them. That's pretty sweet.
I don't believe so. I'm sure I would have remembered had she mentioned. Yes. And the children shall lead is awesome. Hello, and welcome to everyone in the chat. We're back to the first picture here.
Yeah, this is of Marugame Castle, gorgeous castle, wonderful walls, and a tiny little castle on top.
Unlike the non-alcoholic beers in America, which taste like cow piss strained through white chalk. Ugh.
Non-alcoholic beers in Japan actually taste good.
Pretty darn good, don't they?
They are pretty darn good.
Where's the Godzilla deity?
Oh my god! Well, it's obviously going to be a big statue. You got to find the big one.
I saw there is one in Tokyo, a little statue about 2 feet tall, and I think Glasgow maybe had one too. Hello, Daniel's Hot Topic. Hello and welcome. We've been talking about the area of all around where Fermented Cinema is.
Yeah, all around my stomping ground, and that is not a pun about Godzilla.
No, no, of course not.
Not at all. No, I don't do dry humor. Never.
What?
Exactly. All right. Well, actually, I'm gonna get a beer, so I'm gonna be back in about 2 seconds. Okay.
Okay, absolutely. And Godzilla is an official citizen of Japan, radioactive. Really, Tony? That's impressive.
Yes, he is. He is a citizen of Japan.
Ooh.
As official as a citizen of Japan could be, and it being a fictional monster that destroys Tokyo. But yes,
and he is Japan's best ambassador.
He is. His name is in the registry. Yeah.
He's
Snail Messiah.
As soon as they made him an official citizen, they sent him to prison. They arrested him and threw him in jail.
That is awesome, Snail Messiah. You do have an awesome.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Got some nice super dry. Now this is nice. This is from every time my father-in-law comes over.
Yeah.
He gifts me with one of these. So,
oh wow.
Okay.
Nice 24-pack of beer. So I try to invite him over as often as I can.
Nice.
All right. Ooh.
And so that was on the.
Oh, that's actually a picture of me when I was at the.
You lost a lot of weight, especially in the penis area.
Well, I just tuck it between my legs now. That's why I walk so bow-legged.
That's why there's where the kaiju humor comes from. You're actually trying to emulate those Martian tripods with the third leg. Yeah.
So yeah,
with this thing I can pole vault.
This guy, he was in he was in Abiko, where I lived, over northwest of Tokyo, about an hour by bullet train, or by normal train, I should say, not bullet train. But yeah, this guy was a fertility. He was a whole bunch of statues there. The two little guys beside him on the left there, they also have similar features, and it's just fertility statues to buy and put at your house, I guess, and maybe you'll have kids.
I'm sure if you put that statue in front of your house, all your neighbors are going to say, I think he's compensating for something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My wife and I, we were on a trip in southern Ehime. There is a fertility shrine, a fertility temple down the very southern end of Ehime. And driving in there, it was already kind of spooky. And it's like the trees just cover over. And you're like, really? Is there something over here? The road looks like it's going to dead end. And you get there, and there's just this giant wooden penis. And sitting out front, this big wooden cock. So, every morning you got wood around there.
Yeah,
Morning wood.
Yeah, morning wood and evening wood and night wood. Just don't stroke it too much. You might get splinters.
Hail, Rod Thunderheart. Good to see you, buddy.
Hi, Jedi Bill. Welcome again to everybody. Yeah, thanks for being here, everybody. Wow. Hail the
Yeah, it was
snail,
great to see
especially.
everyone. And Rod Thunderheart's here. Awesome.
Hey, Rod. Fantastic. Flask hidden inside left breast pocket and backup flask hidden behind right breast pocket. That's a very good idea.
The best thing about
Flasks
Japan
are so helpful.
is you don't have to hide it. You can just walk around with the flask right out. Oh, okay, so you're in Austin, Texas. Okay.
Yep, that's awesome. Fantastic.
That's cool.
Keep on
I
six
only
says
consume the booze on
go
the
ahead.
weekends. I got old. Gotta pace myself and detox with tea during the week. Self-care recovery is important. You know what? Keep on six. That's true. I've actually cut down my booze intake too. I used to be like 6 times a week, but I'm down to like 3 times a week now.
Ooh, that's
Some weeks
okay.
maybe 2.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Rod. Yeah, no, Pecker Buddha, the horniest Buddha.
This is what we call the Chub Buddha.
Dear God.
That ain't no fucking show.
So yeah, I was just walking because, like you said, I love exploring, and you find the coolest things when you just go exploring off the beaten path. And so Abiko is a small little town. There's an Abiko near Osaka too, strange enough, with a different kanji symbols for the name, I'm sure. But this was near where I lived, and just wandering around, and I stumbled upon this. Yeah, very weird.
Well, it's just like North America. When you head out to the countryside, that's where you find a lot of the more odd ins and outs of the country. Yeah.
We started at 10 p.m. your time. Yes, that's correct. We did.
Yes.
About almost 2 hours now. Now you also did send me a couple of videos.
Yeah, I sent you a couple of videos.
Do you want to play some of those?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that.
Driving in Japan looks like a good.
Let's do the driving in Japan. So I'll introduce it. So this is on my Fermented Cinema channel, but around my house there's this narrow as hell road. Like there's tons of narrow roads in Japan, but this one's especially narrow, and it's like lined with these tall walls. Each house has a wall, and every day I drove it, in my mind, I kept feeling like I was doing the trench run in Star Wars. Like I'm just going through and dun-dun-dun-dun. That's what it felt like the whole time. And I thought about doing this gag for years, and then finally, just a couple months ago, my friend was moving away, and I was like, he actually lives in Alberta. And I was like, before you head back to north of Edmonton, I want you, let's make this video together. So you help me out because filming in Japan, you got to be careful, right? So you don't want to block the roads. You don't want to, especially when you're guerrilla style filming it, don't want to block the roads. Don't get in people's way. Don't make noise. So it took us all day to craft it around where we weren't being a bother to anyone. Did some green screening effects. I used the GoPro, used the drone, used my camera, used all the tricks in the book to put this video together. And here is Driving in Japan, A New Hope. And all the subtitles I put in Japanese too.
All right, perfect. Well, let's see if I can.
Let's hit it.
And we should have sound too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I need some. Too big day. Me too. That's my car. Yes.
Where am I?
Cool.
That road? All right.
Yeah, okay. There it is, the trench run. It's the senior citizen logo. Isn't that logo there's the senior citizen driver's logo in Japan.
In Japan, that's awesome.
I like how
Guy on a bike.
Okay.
Turn off the nav.
Almost there.
Almost there. Almost there. Almost
I
there.
have you now.
No. Wait. Is it this street? This. Fuck.
That's awesome.
Subscribe.
Did you hear that?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So-
That's driving in Japan.
Driving in Japan.
That's fantastic. That's awesome.
I love the
Now-
joke where instead of it just being like at lightning fast speeds, is at a snail's pace. I thought that was a good joke.
It's so slow. You get those senior citizens pull out in front of you, and you're like, "Oh fuck, here we go." Creeping along. Yeah.
Gaijin, your targeting computer is off. What's wrong?
Yeah.
That's
Your nav
funny.
is off. What's wrong?
And okay, going. Tony, do you mind reading Keevan's comment about the previous picture? The
Almost
thumbnail
as
for
if
this
you
video.
just want me talking. You just want me talking about cocks. That's fine.
That's why. That's
is
why.
that
I
the
got it.
place?
Well, because you're the comedian.
I know, right? Not to get cocky or anything, but I'm.
Not to get
Is-
penisy.
You're better than that.
God. Let's just bury this now, Peckerwood. Is that the place where they have the penis festival, where over 1,000 near naked dudes hoist a giant penis log around the town while getting, as is tradition, instantly hammered?
Insanely hammered.
No, not as far as I know. I didn't see anything like that around Abico where I was. No.
It's the town in Ehime where I was with the wood penis.
Okay.
That's
Oh, it
where they
was.
do it,
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, Kevin6 says, don't have a stroke. Yeah, I don't want to blue ball anybody.
No.
Have 60. Ha ha.
So fermented cinema. I know in your video here.
Yeah.
Now the let's find out where the hell I put that. Right there. So in here, I know that the first two symbols here are the symbols for Japan, Nihon.
Yeah.
We looked at them on my shirt, right?
Yeah.
And the last two symbols, the complicated symbols, are driving, right?
That's driving.
Untensuru.
Yeah. Untensuru.
Untensuru. Right.
All right. So un means to carry, and ten means to tumble. So like this motion. So.
Okay, that's why. Now this, I don't understand what the day is. Day no, I know
day
why
no.
the no is there, because no means the driving belongs to Japan. It's
Japan, yeah, and the
So
day,
why is
the
the
day
day-
means like it takes place in Japan.
Yeah.
So in this context, like it's in English, you could say like Japanese driving or driving in Japan, and it would both come out as Nihon Dei no Unten. So it kind of means both. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Right.
Not
Yeah.
simply because Japan has ni in it by default, It's default.
Now, I love that character right after Japan, the third character in the te. Now that is normally pronounced te, but the two little quotation marks change the t to a d and make it pronounced day as opposed to te.
Becomes te. Yeah, it becomes day. It gets a D sound.
Yes, with the two little quotation marks. Now that's a really efficient way to write. I like that. That is kind of cool. It's pronounced one way, but they add a little quotation mark and it changes the pronunciation. That's fantastic.
Japanese are efficient in everything that they do.
Like the kanji on the last kanji there, the first half of the last kanji.
Yeah,
that is the kanji for car. So that's kuruma.
right.
So that one literally means car, and you can see it kind of looks like a car because it looks like two axles with some seats
That's right.
over it, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. A lot of the pictographs do look like what they represent. And second kanji from the right looks like a boat under a sail. It does.
Kind of,
Home.
yeah.
It's tree,
It's the
right?
carry,
And the
carries.
book comes, yeah.
Oh no,
So,
actually,
fantastic.
that's car again on there. That's car again on there with like the sail on top, and then
Yes.
yeah, and then the bottom part I believe is like the short form for like road, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna stop sharing that. That was fun. That was a good video. You put a lot of production. I'm not gonna show any of my videos because I don't put any production value in them, and they're gonna look really bad. Oh dear.
I do put a lot of effort in these videos. That's why on my channel, I can only upload a video at most at one a week because doing work and family, and I can't slap them together. Like I'm doing a Fallout review right now, and my original intention was to get it out like the first week Fallout was out.
Yeah,
I
I was expecting it today.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna speak. I'm just gonna speak and just do like a critical drinker where he just runs the promo material under it, right? Can't do that. Nope, because as I started doing, I'm like, this would be funny if I added this. Oh, and this would be funny if I added this. Now this would be funny if I added this. I want a clip of this too. And it's like, oh fuck, now it's dragging out to this huge long.
You and I have a similar problem, where I only get basically 3 free hours after work of a night. Whenever I start a video project, I can only do so much of it, and then I got to bookmark it because if I don't go to bed, I'm going to be not able to do my job in the following day.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah. It sucks. It is going to be out really soon. Like for sure this week. It's almost done. My friend sent a video from Vancouver of some like cracked out lunatic raging on the bus. And let's just say that was very serendipitous because that's now the best part of my video about Fallout. So you'll see how it fits in. You'll see how it fits in. It's amazing. And should come out in a couple of days. Yeah.
Now you did another. You sent me another video that you've done. Osaka Driven. Do you want to?
Let's do this one. Yeah, this one was just kind of. I did a short trip to Osaka with my friend. And I just had my camera with me, so I took some shots when I was there and then just quickly threw them together. Yeah, let's do that. So Osaka's a great place. Love Osaka.
I like Osaka.
Osaka it to me, as I say.
The golden turd, and I'm not talking about the building. That joke was horrible.
And the difference between Osaka and Tokyo, how can you tell if you're in Osaka?
If you're in Osaka,
Tokyo.
Everyone's really friendly. If you're in Tokyo, you think you're in Toronto.
Well, that and they stand on the other side of the escalator.
That's
it's a very big deal if you're on the wrong side of the escalator, because escalators are everywhere there. And
have a good night, Radioactive. Thanks for watching.
Hey, good night, Radioactive. And Snail Messiah, yes, I got it. Thank you. Might want to show during the podcast. I'll make you laugh and happy. I don't know that I have the rights to show that. It's another YouTuber. I did see the video you sent, and it is funny learning English in Japan. But unless that is your channel and I have your permission, I can't show that. But I did see it. It is funny. Good night, Radioactive. All right, so I can show this. I can show this video because it's your other channel.
It's my other channel, yeah. I just uploaded this channel maybe once every few months. Just these video projects I do.
Okay, I'm gonna play it now. Okay, guys.
Let's watch. This is the main square in Osaka. How many people go through here? I love the subways.
Yep, I love the train system in Japan.
And every train system has its own chimes.
Yep.
Yep.
The ones leaving Osaka at nighttime, brum, 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 bum, bum, and then all the trains depart at once is great. And Japan can do grit without being dirty. It's amazing, right? Like these cities have grit. Like they're cool.
It's a true cyberpunk vibe. It's grit without filth.
Yeah, it's grit, not filth. Yeah, which is great. Some people mistake filth for grit. I'm like, no, that's disgusting. Like you don't have to wash your shoes when you come home.
Exactly. Although, you know what? Living in Japan every night when I blew my nose because of all the pollution from traffic. you know,
Driving on the highways again. You drive 50 kilometers straight with never hitting the road on these elevated highways. It's so cool. And they don't waste the space under them. There's like stores and restaurants under the highways and trains. It's not in America where it's like a dead zone.
One of the best ramen restaurants I know of is underneath the subway train platform. Yeah,
there we are at Dotonbori. So much fun there.
In Shinjuku.
There it is. Yeah,
beautiful.
Dotonbori is so cool. Mm-hmm. Look all you want, Raw Thunderheart. All right, there's the.
And Ian just doxed himself.
I did, but whatever.
That's fantastic, man. That's gorgeous.
I wouldn't worry. Most people like spell my name wrong anyway, even after they've seen it.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, well, that's fantastic. And okay, I see. Right, not my channel, but Comic Relief Crusader showed it on his channel. I didn't get in trouble. Okay. Well, I'm not too worried about getting in trouble. Like I said, I never plan on being monetized. I just don't want to fair use, but you'd have to add your own commentary while it played and give the obviously mention the name of the person who created it. Yeah, well, we could possibly do that.
So yeah. Whenever I did my Fallout show on Sunday, made sure to credit because there's this guy who has AIs that believe that they're the NPCs in whatever game that he assigns them to.
Nice.
And he did one with Mr. House and Benny in New Vegas, as if Mr. House had caught Benny in the act, and their conversation was just on the nose. Like this would be the kind of stuff you would hear them talking about if like it was like cut content worthy. Like if the courier walked in and there's a Benny caught with 2 Securitrons and House is just like, I'll talk to you in a minute. I got to finish business here. Kind of like, it was good. But I credited him. I put his link in my chat, highlighted it, made sure his watermark was completely visible.
Yeah.
All of that.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm certainly not Doug. I don't stress out over those things. Doug 35. And I notice if you stop it like every 20 seconds, then comment seems to work best. Okay, right. Thanks, Thunderheart. But I do have another video you sent me cleaning up Teshima.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the island. Yeah.
So, a lot of garbage, unfortunately, winds up on the shore. Just the way the ocean current works, especially on this one beach. This is a different beach on the north side of the island. And, it just piles up there. And so a couple times a year, there's a big volunteer activity. Everyone goes out and picks up the garbage. And it's quite interesting. So they asked me to document it. So I made kind of like a video for it. It's in English and Japanese. There's actually a French version too, because the person who was working on the project has connections with like some French universities. So they use it over there as well. So let's take a look. So this is cleaning up the beach on Teishima. Yeah.
Let's do that. And this is, just a couple of minutes long here.
Yeah, they're all I usually keep my videos pretty short. Not TikTok short, but pretty short.
Well, you're catering to people that don't have an attention span like Homer Simpson.
Yes.
Now, funny story behind that, just real quick. Homer Simpson is, in a way, a Renaissance man because of the film festival episode with Hans Moleman's man getting hit by football, which was an 8-second long segment of him just getting hit in the balls with a football with a cartoon. Yeah, and with a cartoon noise, and then he's like, oh. That's a TikTok video. And the only person in the audience at the time laughed. That is the length of the TikTok video. That is the content of the TikTok video. And Homer was the only one that laughed. And if you guys don't get the connotation, but because of what TikTok is doing to kids now, then you probably should.
What about like the videos? Like you look at the TikTok accounts and they'll have like 2 million subscribers. And it's just the same girl standing in the exact same point of a room, just wearing a slightly different dress each time. For 10 seconds. I'm like, how the fuck is this popular? Jesus Christ.
All right, let's
bizarre.
Let's watch something much more interesting.
Yes.
There's the peninsula.
Yes, cleaning up Teishima. This was last October.
It was a mild but windy autumn day on the morning of October 15th, 2023.
This is my
As
English teaching
170
voice.
volunteers from local companies, schools, and NPO organizations set sail to the island of Teishima. Departing from both Okayama and Kagawa prefectures, these volunteers gathered on a scenic pebble beach in the heart of the Seto Sea for one purpose: to collect the mounds of waste that had washed ashore. These volunteers ranged in age from young school children to senior citizens. Some
I did all
journeyed
the
from
subtitles
Kyoto
too,
to
so I'm
take
proud
part
of
in
that.
this event, while a few came from as
Nice.
far away as
Oh, yeah, I
Canada
can't
and
write in
Australia.
Japanese at all.
2 garbage trucks also made this voyage to the isolated northern shoreline of Teishima. This cleanup program was initiated in
Mounds of
2008
garbage.
by the Land History Club at Sanyo Gakuen Junior and Senior High School in Okayama. Unfortunately, due to the coronavirus pandemic, this volunteer activity was canceled in 2020
Like everything
until
in
being
Japan for 2
reinitiated
years.
for this event. This occasion was also the first time that the prefecture of Kagawa took part in this program, joining forces with Okayama Prefecture in the shared aim of cleaning up the Seto Sea.
In Japan,
As the
there's
wind
no
blew
needles
and
in
the
the
waves
garbage.
crashed,
So you don't have to
everyone
worry.
worked hard, gathering up as much garbage as they could, filling bag after bag with cans, bottles, plastic wrappers, and some more interesting items.
I wonder what the story was behind that tire.
Yeah, I know. So a lot of this washes up during typhoons, right? The typhoons, the rivers wash out fields, a lot of garbage comes out.
Working
Ends up in the
together,
ocean.
over 2 tons of waste was collected in a single hour.
You can lay on that nice pile of garbage. Dollar store gloves, best. So having drones are so handy these days, like making videos.
Yeah, no kidding. Back in the day, you would had to have like a massive
Both
platform.
garbage trucks were
Yeah.
quickly filled, with the collected garbage
crane.
spilling over into a third pickup truck. Without the effort and goodwill of these volunteers and the ship captains bearing through the high waves, this
Yeah, on
cleanup
the way
would
back,
not
got
have
a
been
little
possible.
Iffy.
In the future, these garbage cleanup events are being planned for various locations throughout the Seto Inland Sea.
Actually, William Shakespeare, that's right. A lot of it does come in from other countries, unfortunately. A lot from China and whatnot. Just don't have as good programs. That's right, Keep on 6 as well. Is this your video now? Is this Canadian Spider-Man's?
Oh shoot!
We got
No,
someone swimming?
that went a little.
I thought that
It
was yours for a
autoplayed.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is.
I was
mine.
about to say, speaking of
You know what? I never.
that as far as cinematography was concerned, that
I
was
don't think I would.
for what you guys did. That was a flex, dude. But like then with the scuba stuff, I was like, Jesus Christ! Are you sure you're using just
That's
mediocre
exceptional, yeah.
equipment like you say in your ad? Like,
China is a horrible polluter.
yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
yeah,
Japan was generally pretty clean and orderly in general.
Well,
I mean,
China
you could
blames
find
everyone
some-
except for themselves for everything.
Well, that's true. And I'm sure a fair amount came from many other poor Asian countries. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. Keep on 6. Would you mind reading his comment, Fermented?
I've always admired at how fast the Japanese people come together willingly to work towards a common goal, be it cleanup, repair, or working for their communities. Yeah, no, it is very admirable. It's really nice. And when disasters also hit and strike, they don't go looting the stores or going nuts for donuts. They line up, they work together. It's so refreshing to see that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's reactive. China
Yeah,
does,
very,
but
yeah,
yes, it's
no,
true.
wow. So, I do have, I think I have a photo here that I can share. Oh yeah. So I did say that I had a passion for Japanese food, and so while I was over staying with my ex fiance's father, he had some friends come over and family come over, and they cooked traditional food for us. And oh my goodness, let me tell you, it was fantastic. So let me just see if I can pull up that photo right here.
If it's a picture of spaghetti, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
No, here it is, right here. So
Ooh,
yeah, look at-
nice.
Oh, you tease.
That does. That
So-
looks wonderful.
So yeah, that is strips of beef in a
Yeah.
soy sauce with onions,
Yes.
and
Beef
then
tatake. Yeah.
what did you call it?
Beef tatake.
Beef tataki. Okay, right.
Yeah.
And then of course lots of fruit and seafood. Now there's shrimp in there mixed in, and there's a lot of things made with tofu as well. Little fancy, colorful little designs with the tofu, and some deep fried, and a little bit of some sashimi in there on the left.
Yeah.
Some sushi rather on the left. Yeah, just fantastic food.
And I love the
really.
The tempura there, and actually the little root. I'm pointing at the screen, like you guys can tell where I'm pointing. The little root.
Yeah,
with the
go
red
ahead.
tip.
Yes,
The little root with the red tip there is so delicious.
right there.
Yeah,
Right.
It's like a really strong sour flavor, but like it's wonderful. Forget what it's called though. It's like a bit of a delicacy in Japan. Well, everything's a delicacy in Japan.
Oh, dude, they really do enjoy their food, and they really appreciate it, I think.
Oh yeah.
Ramen, man, I love ramen.
Yeah, that's a big bowl of ramen.
My favorite noodle. They are huge over there, aren't they? Huge ramen bowls over there. Absolutely. Ooh, there is
What's that?
I believe that is part of Osaka. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Is it not?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, is that near the World's Fair exhibit?
Near in Namba, I believe.
Because like the World's Fair exhibit has that bizarre like sun god statue thing that was made.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that in there. Yeah, the police were there. This was for a big festival that was coming. Yeah, and they have their own buses. That was pretty amazing. But now here's more of the food. Yes. So this was at a fireworks festival, and in the summer, Osaka has summertime fireworks festivals, and this is one.
Everywhere in Japan's got the summertime fireworks festivals.
Yes, but Osaka's are 2 hours long.
Yeah. Theirs is the biggest one. Yeah.
It was so crowded, and so this is takoyaki. And
Jumbo.
Tony, what's takoyaki, buddy?
Takoyaki is essentially it's like think about like pancake batter, and inside the middle is a big slice of squid, and then they cook it
Octopus,
and then they cook it in these trays here, and you spin them around. You can also do. Did you ever play takoyaki roulette?
No, what is that?
That's where you put
octopus.
Yeah, that's where you put you make like 12 of them, but in one of them you load it up with something disgusting.
Yeah.
So you don't know which one it is, and everyone picks and eats it.
That's funny.
There'll be one that has like either like a shit ton of like wasabi in it, or one that has like or one that has like chocolate in it. There'll be like something odd. Yeah. So that's wasabi roulette. It's fun. Yeah.
Burdock root. It says Kibon 6. The red tip.
No, burdock root is not that one. Burdock root is the really long brown root. And now I'm forgetting the Japanese name for it, and I love it. Burdock root. It's Oh, come on. I love it so much. It's delicious. You can have it deep fried, and it's like almost like a French fry version as well. It's really nice. Gobo. Gobo is the Japanese name.
Gobo.
Yeah,
Okay.
gobo.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And ramen. Yeah. Ramen. I have walked in Tokyo when I lived in Japan. I walked for hours in the middle of the night for ramen. Like, absolutely love ramen. And I don't mean the instant noodle crap. I mean authentic Japanese ramen. I would definitely be drunk at that festival. Yes, you.
I like Ray Lucard's comment here. Like candy apple brulee and one's an onion. That's Shrek's candy
yeah.
apple.
I've never heard of that.
That's awesome. That's
Is
great.
burdock the painkiller root?
I've never heard that.
I don't know.
Never heard that's a painkiller. It's delicious. I can tell you that.
So here is another stand at the festival, and his head got cut off. That's the formatting. But yeah, this is again lots of stuff on grilled stuff on skewers. Grilled stuff on skewers. Chicken. That looks like seafood, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, that one there looks like squid. That might be squid.
Okay, maybe. Okay, perhaps, yeah. But yeah, delicious. Lots of food, and reasonably priced. Really cheap.
Yeah,
and every festival, they just come and set up for every festival.
Oh yeah,
and actually, there it is. There's the fireworks festival in downtown Osaka. That's Namba, the Namba region, and that building is like an upside down U that is connected at the top.
That's right next to the main train station.
Right there,
that's,
yeah.
Umeda.
Umeda, yeah, that's amazing.
Beautiful.
Do they eat octopus? I really hope not. Octopus are intelligent creatures. It should be outlawed.
They do.
Fine. They do eat octopus, yeah.
William Shakespeare is sounding a lot like the Deep right now. We have to get Homelander in on you.
Oh yeah, yeah.
William Shakespeare, don't unsubscribe, but they're delicious.
They are delicious.
William Shakespeare, I have one thing to say: eat Timmy.
Burdock is for nerves and anxiety. Oh, okay.
Really? Oh, okay. Huh.
If it doesn't have
that's why I feel so good when I eat it. I thought
that's funny. That's a funny comment. Oh, I feel so bad because last Thursday we did Portugal, and I had a lot of escargot, and Snail Messiah was in the chat, and I kept showing pictures of escargot, and I'm probably bringing back the drama to him now. But
and Snail was like, "This is a war crime. Prepare yourself."
Yeah,
so you can see
son of a bitch Snail eating that helpless plant.
You can see all the people here in the foreground, and in the background there, the bridge is going across the river, and right against the riverbank, you can see it is a string of those little food stalls.
Yeah, you
and
can see them all back there. Yeah,
they have little colorful signs made up there.
Some of them are games too and stuff. They got like
that's true. Yep.
Yeah. Lots of little games. Actually, there's a
for kids.
Catching goldfish for kids. My son did that a year and a half ago. Caught 5 fish. Oh, yeah. 3 of them died almost immediately, but the remaining 2 are still with us. There's the other room over there, and this one sucker is grown to be huge. It's almost like a koi fish now. Yeah, so it's pretty fun.
Wow.
No, octopus are definitely smart, William Shakespeare. They're smart and delicious, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I don't think a lot of people realize how smart octopus are. It's very sad. You're absolutely right. They are. My brother, I have never seen one diving, but my youngest brother who lives in Australia, he saw one when we were on the Great Barrier Reef, and he said it was no question it was intelligent. It was communicating with him, and
it flipped him the tentacle.
Yeah, no, it changed colors. It did all kinds of things. Cuttlefish are bastards. Eat them all. I like cuttlefish. Sure, why not? Tony, do you want to read William's comment?
I even answered it in the chat too. He says, "South Park Timmy, I don't think I'm catching the references." Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realize how smart octopi are. It's very sad. It's the boys. The Deep was forced to eat an octopus named Timmy alive by Homelander.
Okay, right. And right.
Well, they do like those tests with octopuses, and it's like they can open jars. They can like they can figure out.
Yep.
I saw a video where it's like
They sure
one's
can.
like it's like fighting this like you ever seen that shrimp that has that super powerful snapping feature where it can like
for propulsion, yeah.
Yeah, I can like bust
Wow.
like the claws off of like crabs and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was a cuttlefish kind of fighting against one of those. And the thing was so smart that it picked up like a shell on the ground and used it as a shield as its other tentacle snuck around behind it to eat it.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was like, wow, that's some thinking there.
So yeah, this was a new color of firework that I hadn't seen before, an orangey and electric orange color that was Japan has all the newest colors. And here the rooftops, the colorful rooftops of all the food stands there in the foreground. But yeah, unbelievable there. Gorgeous. Osaka is a fun city. It's
wonderfully fun.
I mean, I lived in outside of Tokyo, and I have a great affinity for Tokyo, but Osaka is a lot of fun. And there are all the games and foods, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. And here they're cooking more stuff. Lots of
that
food.
was delicious.
Oh yeah, there's in Japan reading some silly notice that my Nova school had put up there. Yeah, I can't read it. Another temple complex. But gorgeous buildings and architecture in Japan. And this is all around the southern part of Japan near Wakayama.
Wakayama. Yeah, that's not too far from me.
Yeah, about an hour. You said 40 minutes boat ride.
Yeah,
and gorgeous, heavy wood construction. Heavy. I'm surprised Japan has any trees left at all, frankly.
Well, actually, you know what? They got a lot of wood actually from British Columbia. So you go to some of these places,
kidding.
Yeah, you'll actually be probably walking on some floorboards and trees from BC.
Oh, there's more fireworks. Yeah,
they love the Douglas firs. And there's also at the onsen some of those big bathtubs that are made out of a single log. Those are like old cedars from the Pacific Northwest.
Right. No, Wakayama is beautiful. So does this look like around where your region?
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
That's
pretty much exactly what it looks like. Yeah.
Now I don't know if you can spot that, Tony, but I bet you Fermented Cinema sees what's lining the riverbanks everywhere in Japan.
They're all boxed in with concrete walls.
Yeah, they're not free flowing.
No, it's really rare to find a free flowing river in Japan.
No, this is all guided.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see the concrete right here if you can see my mouse.
Yeah. This one here is actually pretty green. Some are white. Yeah.
This Wakayama is in the countryside, in my opinion. Yeah. That's why I took a picture, because it normally is much more concrete looking than that.
Like, for example, back in Osaka there, that river is like concrete straight. A lot of flood control.
Just typical. This is a big grocery store that out in the countryside, and they had that guy standing in the middle directing traffic, and that was his job all day long, just for the grocery. I think he was employed by the grocery store.
So some of like the older guys, you can see they're almost retired.
Lightning.
Yeah.
Beautiful lightning shot there. And you just see things like this in Japan just randomly, and I wish I could read what it said. I can't read. I can't read very much kanji.
Yeah. This one's hard for me. I can read the very last kanji right now, and that's public. Something public. Yeah, when it's scribbled like that, that's hard for me. That's like
it is. It's like handwriting in English is hard for.
Yeah, it's like trying to read cursive if you've never learned cursive, right? It's going to be impossible.
Kivan 6. Raiden wins.
Hold on, I got it.
You got it.
Raiden wins. Fatality.
I guarantee it's not public urination.
No. I don't think so.
It's like a sign saying no public urination on this statue, please.
No. I could spend an insane amount of time with a notepad just trying to figure out how the building joint work is assembled. You got it, Kivan 6. I did spend hours looking at it, 100%. Yeah. I want to double check. Alan Dean Foster does get story credit for Star Trek TMP, although it's obviously derived from TOS, the Changeling. I still absolutely love the motion picture. Props to Foster. I digress. Well, you can digress about Star Trek here anytime you want. Yeah, just lots of. I mean, you just see random
permeate every channel
story and random historical statues just all over, and gardens just random. Yeah,
taken in the summer. Hold on, just a second. Here, it's the summer, and it just happens to be year 5. There you go.
There we go.
Nice, Tony.
There's your noisy cicadas.
Yeah, in North America, they only come out every so often. But in Japan, they're out
every
year.
17 years. We only got one pod.
Wow.
You guys have, I think, like 9 or 11 pods. That's
so like overlay.
There's my room in Japan with the tatami mats got cut off.
The tatami mats at the bottom. Yeah. I like the tatami mats. I like the smell of them. I love the smell of thatch. It reminds me of a lot of kind of like as a kid, like alfalfa.
And the
it reminds me of the smell of alfalfa.
I love the sound of the sliding doors. I just love that.
Yep, me too. Yeah, me too.
Wait till you got kids slamming them back and forth.
Oh God!
Oh God, no!
And you see the lanterns out everywhere too. The paper lanterns are just everywhere in Japan. It's crazy.
It's modernity and tradition.
Yeah,
it is. And you see how that entire storefront is open, and it will be open in the wintertime too, with snow falling, and they'll just leave the entire front of the store open to the elements. They don't care about wasting electricity. Build another Fukushima, I suppose.
They say, "Get good, scrub. Get good."
Yeah, and all kinds of celebrations and parades. Oh, dude,
I love a good parade.
Yep, Japan is. They celebrate at the drop of a hat.
Yeah,
they really do. They're like, ooh,
this is you traveling through time.
I was celebrating.
This is the part where I took a photo of that right there.
The next one's going to be like almost hitting the ground and then just looking up.
Random temple. Wakayama had these temple grounds again. Just you just discover this all over Japan. Just random buildings and temples and shrines and paper lanterns, and absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, this is all Wakayama, and this is a dragon, copper dragon, that has been aged a lot, and for fountain, and that's, I think it's sort of like holy water when you go to a shrine and you pour the water to cleanse yourself, I suppose.
Cleanse yourself. You do one hand and then the other hand. Both your hands.
And so every shrine, I think, that I've seen has one of these washing stations. Usually ornate taps pouring the water out.
Stone tub. Yeah, and then you get the tap.
Yeah.
I always like in the gardens, I like kind of like almost like the timekeeping one where it fills up and donk.
Oh yeah, I see those.
The bamboo.
I see those.
Donk.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the drinking bird, but a little more. Yeah. A little more zen.
Just in rock gardens.
A little more zen.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, I love the gardening. I love the topiary. This is gorgeous.
No,
even at the schools, even the public schools, they're like the school grounds will have topiary, and everything's like so beautifully maintained and done. And the kids take part in it, which is great. The kids have their own garden. Yeah,
they have their own garden to grow vegetables. Right? They take care of it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
there we go. Now there is some good squid.
That is with the grill marks.
I love squid. Yeah.
And the sweet, I don't know what sauce they put on that. I think it's a soy sauce based.
Yeah, it'll be a soy sauce based, kind of like a sweet sauce. But I always like to dip it. I like to dip it with a little mayonnaise as well. Goes well.
These were a couple of bucks each, and they're not that They're a little rubbery. They're like
a good choose fun
calamari, like calamari. Well, yeah, this essentially is calamari. It's just it's a squid.
It's calamari.
Yeah, it is calamari.
It's just the body and not the tentacle.
Yeah,
gorgeous, absolutely. Oh, do you mind reading Ray Lucard's comment, Tony?
Yeah, the conch on the grill.
Yeah.
That's food. Kevon says it's delicious.
The motion picture needed a 2-hour story, so they adapted the Star Trek Phase 2 pilot in thy image.
And now you know. There's that cheating. The more you know.
Complex
And
mortise
more
antennas from spinach
you
rebuilding upon log
know.
pillars. Nice. I love that. Hey, Rod. Conch on the grill. I love all seafood. I'll eat it all.
Yeah.
Hey, Snail Messiah has to run. You have fun and enjoy your day over there, buddy.
Have a good one. Thanks for tuning
God
in.
bless, buddy. It's so awesome that we have so many like access points tuning in from
Ooh.
all over the globe.
It
Yeah.
really is. Doug says the cover has a whale, but it turns out the cephalopods control them. Ooh.
Ooh.
So he's talking about part of his Commonwealth Universal. The spoiler was its intelligent cephalopod. That's the spoiler, William. Ooh, I like intelligent cephalopods.
They're delicious.
Hey, see you later, DJ Play Nice. Good to have you here.
Good to see you, buddy.
Have a good one.
No,
Man's got a
love,
great baritone. Play Nice has a great baritone.
love the food in Japan. Absolutely love it. And old cool statue. This I liked it. It was, I don't know what animal that is. It's a cat of some kind, but a devil cat with flames. And I just thought it was cool.
Yeah,
armor.
armor. Yeah.
There we
Japanese
go.
armor. This is just sitting unguarded at the temple complexes. As far as I know, I couldn't see any caretakers around watching us. I'm sure they come
They're
out.
almost always going to be an 80-year-old man that just comes around too when they do.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Gorgeous. Yeah. Love the history in Japan. Love history. Yeah. The old.
See, I love stuff like this. I love the models, like
Yes.
the old forts and how the cities were designed, the little feudal towns. That's so cool.
Yeah. So, how's that? Osaka. That's the view from Osaka Castle.
Yeah.
Osaka Castle is a good one. I think
Osaka
it's
Joe.
the second biggest castle in Japan.
It's massive.
Castle Azumanga.
Oh, that's and gorgeous, and that's not smog either. That's not a lot of that's not pollution. That's just
a lot of it's also just Japan's humid, so you just get those humid skies.
It is very humid. Yeah. As I say that, you can see one pillar of smoke rising into the air, but that is fog and humidity.
The farmers that burn any time of the year, any day.
So now they do. I did take this photo in Wakayama. They make fun of Japanese being bad drivers. And I guess that's maybe why they put the gasoline pumps on the ceiling so that and the hoses hang down so that people don't drive into them. I guess I don't know, but they hang there. The gasoline comes from the ceiling, from the roof.
Yeah. We don't have those in Kagawa. Here it's all just regular pumps. Yeah.
Maybe the drivers in Wakayama are particularly bad.
It could just be more metropolitan, designed for efficiency of populated area.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because around here, it's all regular pumps, like back in North America. Mm-hmm. Sigh.
So I sort of
you don't get your robo pump.
I don't get my robo pumps.
Oh, of course. Ray Lucard says it's unguarded because it comes to life every night.
Ray Lucard is our novice necromancer. He's our aspirant necromancer. So if anybody knows, he does.
That's right. Oh, and okay, very good. You're using big words there, William. So that's good.
I like big words.
Oh, go ahead and read this, please.
I wasn't aware of that. Just the argument about whether it was too derivative of Changaning. I think it stands on its own just fine. Particularly the timing of events. Yes.
Okay. Very good.
That must be Old English. It is William Shakespeare.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
That's exactly. Museums are my jam, says Kevon. Could easily spend hours researching. Man, I did. Yeah. I really did.
Museums are fun. I like it. I like going to like, especially like again, small little towns. Just seeing like the neat little things they've collected over the years. It's cool. And old maps. I love old maps. I love old. It's so cool. Like hand drawn maps
yes.
are so neat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same here, man. Definitely. Oh, I think I showed that one already. Oh.
But actually, today, Spidey, I hate to be a party pooper, but
yep, I think we're gonna.
I gotta get going because I gotta make dinner again tonight. Well, the wife knows I'm home.
Thanks so much for being here. This was a lot of fun.
I loved it.
We finally was able to get together.
Yeah, finally do it. Good Japan talk. We got to do another one because there's still a lot more to talk about Japan. I got a lot more to share and stuff.
I absolutely, dude. Check out what I got in Japan. This is it's a touch lamp, but it's a globe.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's written
in Japanese. There we go.
Japanese. So
you'll have Taiheiyo, the Pacific Ocean, and Taiseiyo, which is the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah. And here's
Canada.
Yeah.
I was about to say that globe's inaccurate because you got Gaijin.
What is that?
Don't know. Manano de Gaijin.
Gaikoku. Nihon.
Yeah. So this is all in Japanese. So I can read I can't read kanji though, but I can read a lot of the names in Japanese for
the katakana ones,
of the world. Yeah, it's fantastic. But thanks so much for being here, Fermented Cinema.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to drop your link in the chat, and
yes,
yours
please.
as well, Tony.
Please subscribe to Fermented Cinema if you haven't already. I got lots of fun videos and comedy skits and cartoons for you to witness, and once every 2 weeks, so twice monthly, bi-monthly live stream as well. Which Canadian Spider-Man, you have to come on one day and talk about one of your favorite movies.
I would love to. I love movies. I've seen a lot of the ones, especially in the 80s. I don't get much time now as I did when I was a kid, but I'd love to. Thank you for the invite, and I'll take you up on that.
I'll send you like a list of like movies I'm thinking about, and if there's one that tickles your fancy, let me know, okay?
Oh, dude, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it. And
yes.
Tony, thank you for being here too, man.
Kevon 6 is right. We got to do it again. Yes, I want to do this again.
Yeah, 100%. It's got to be the three of us.
Yeah, this works out well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And let's see. I'm trying to pull up a comment here. Yeah, and what do you have coming up, Tony? Do you want to talk about what you've got coming up in the next couple of days, or are you taking it easy because you've been streaming a lot?
I have been working a lot. I just want to go out there and be like, once again, we did a very successful Stark Relief Foundation. We saved Michael Orber's shop. We actually overextended the goal by a significant amount. And we really helped him out today.
You did, man.
There will be another death race for the members of my channel coming up soon. We'll probably spin that wheel, I don't know, in a couple of days. I am going to take a couple of days off and just do some work. And because I've been on the internet for like 5 days. This stream, that stream.
It's good to take some time off the internet, too, for your Saturday.
Yeah. I always take my time off the internet on Saturday when I can. But I have my usual after party after Friday Night Frolics to keep the party going for those of you that don't like sleep or on the other side of the planet, like Ian here. And and then on the Tower After Hours, I will have Gothic Therapy. I will have both Master of the TDS and Riding Raven. So it'll be the first two people that I'll have sitting on the couch.
Fantastic.
For the late show. So
I got to join your show again myself sometime, Tony.
Yeah. Once I reach 30 different guests, that's when I start rotating because that's what the Late Show did. So
sweet.
Oh,
awesome.
Nice. Oh, hey, thanks.
Thank you, Doug 35.
Thanks.
And also
Awesome.
Also, highlight Doug 35's comment a little higher there. Yeah, so many great old movies.
Oh,
You
sure.
did right
Okay,
above there. So he says,
hello, Brett Cohen. Hi.
So he said, so many great old movies, much more productive than complaining about the garbage they make now. Yes, that's kind of my philosophy.
Yeah.
I talk more about stuff I like. If you watched the last live stream we did, it was Tony and I. He nice enough to guest. And we talked about 1985's or 1986's Death Wish 3. Fun romp. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff like that. Just going over old movies that are great. Yeah.
Yes. William Shakespeare Spielberg says very, very, very old English with a
very old English.
With a tumbler.
I always get some old English going.
There you go.
There we go. This is my
thanks for being English. Here, everybody. Thank you, William Shakespeare.
Sorry, Brett, go ahead. Thank you, William Shakespeare. Oh, he's great. And thank you, Doug 35.
Oh, wait, we got to end this the way we began it. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready to hit end stream. Are you ready? Let's go.
Yes.
Oh, shibai.
Yo!
Johnny, bye-bye.
またお願いします。